a second specialization.
Have you? Oh, you don't even know how to do the second specialization. So on your skills, where you select your different feats and for your specialization, at the top next to whatever class you are, there'll be a button to do it. Do I have the generator up amongst these many programs I have up? I do. So you
Yeah,
click,
I've got it up. Yeah, I see the purchase, and then
and then it's a. If you have the latest version of the generator that I sent out to the party, it's a universal class.
all right. Right now it's only showing. Or do I have to go all the way back to career?
No, it's select specialization from the top, and then you select purchase, and then you show universal specializations, and then you click the drop down.
There we go. Ah, there we go. Scavenger. There we go.
Okay, if you can see it, you should have the most recent version.
All right. Yeah, I got the scavenger one up now.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So you guys are in hyperspace en route to a rendezvous with a potential mission giver for a new job. You are in the rare circumstance of the hold is mostly empty. There's no cargo to move from place to place. There's the radonium that you were carrying. You used to refuel the ship, so you didn't have to pay to refuel the ship. So that's gone, or most of it's gone. There's still a couple barrels left, and it's just a long hyperspace trek. It's probably going to end up being 2 weeks total, but it's going to be this first week is, just to your rendezvous point. Now, we're going to start with Randall because Randall is the most likely person, other than Mr. Clean, to be climbing through all of the ducts and access ways and such on the ship. And Mr. Clean's going to report that his droids, which you've been reprogramming for maintenance duty on the ship, have been coming back with all these trash pieces, like they're emergency food ration wrappers. And he thinks that there's rodents on the ship. So you've been crawling through these chaseways that are really meant for droids. And you keep finding these wrappers everywhere. So that's your little mystery to figure out for starters. Waz, Mr. Clean has reprogrammed one of the maintenance droids to be a sort of pseudo boxing droid for you. It's got like 8 limbs, so it's able to give you a decent workout. And you've got that going on down in your little grunting Giza area. Oh, Ghost made it. Yay. We'll get to him in a minute. Dr. Payne, I don't know which. You can do pretty much whatever tasking you want to be doing. I have something for you, but it won't be until you arrive at your destination. Kind of the same thing with the captain. So, what is Payne doing during this very long hyperspace journey?
I just got back. What I missed?
Oh, you missed you being asked what are you doing while you're in hyperspace for a week.
Sweet. All right. I'm gonna work on. You know how I've been making knockoff. We have low on medical supplies, so I use other things to do things that just strictly do them all worse. Like, let's see, what was the last one I made? I
Uh,
used menthol and something to make. Well, god damn it.
it was like antibiotic cream or something.
Yeah, yeah, burn cream made with menthol and sand or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing more of that.
Okay.
Captain told me he wanted more supplies, so gotta use what I got.
And they are very expensive right now too.
Exactly. I might even be able to sell some of this shit. I mean, at least once.
Until they have to use it, right?
Right. Hey, it works. Just it also hurts.
Oh, there we go. Ghost, are you in here?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Awesome.
Yeah, there we go.
I can. So you guys are in hyperspace for a week to meet up with your contact for this job. And before I get into the couple of people that I have stuff for on rails. I was wondering what you and Dr. Payne were doing in the meantime. Give a week.
Love the hyperspace effect. It's nice.
I can't take credit for that. That actually came out of that Star Wars asset pack that you pointed out the other day.
Right on, right on. Oh man, let's see. What's got to be done?
Make sure to leave some time in your schedule because when I start with the thing with Randall, it's likely going to take some of your attention. It's also worth noting that airlock that you damaged during the fight with the Raider Corvette, that thing's still damaged. I've been meaning to point that out.
Oh, okay. So I can do some mechanical repair.
I mean, it's going to be some pretty significant repair if you want to do that. But you could.
Yeah, I think my attention as captain should be in trying to fix up the ship, make the ship fly better.
Okay. Who are you going to tap to help you with that? That's not a one-man job.
If I can't do it by myself, we just hired that guy. Hold on, I'm trying to remember what his name was.
Mr. Clean, he's right here.
Mr. Clean, yeah.
He's got a series of droids available. He's got 6 droids, one of which he's already sort of reprogrammed to help Waz spar so he doesn't beat up on the crew members.
Very nice. Yeah, I think Mr. Clean and I can get this done.
Okay. He's going to insist on bringing a couple of the droids, though, because he's going to be like, we're in hyperspace, and someone's going to have to go to the outer part of the ship. And I don't want to die. So
Good idea.
he's going to insist on bringing some droids. He's also going to... I'm going to say that you guys have enough spare supplies on board that you can pull enough bulkhead to rebuild the door. So you guys are going to have to make the door. So go ahead and let's talk about his check versus your check. So he's got a 3 yellow mechanics check. I'm going to guess that's better than yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a 3 yellow mechanics check and 2 boosts against a... We'll roll it all into one check and make it a 2 red check. Alright. So you guys build a door out of scrap metal, make it look pretty much like the existing door. Mr. Clean and his droids are actually pretty good at fabrication. And then the impressive part is you all get into spacesuits, get into this part of the airlock, shut the door, open the airlock, and you're now looking out into this hyperspace void. It's gorgeous. It's almost inspirational, and you're gonna benefit from the calm of this. And next time you have to roll some sort of leadership or talking check, you can go ahead and add a boost dice just because you have like almost a religious experience seeing hyperspace with nothing but a suit between you and it.
Huh.
And you guys take the old door and literally just genus it off, and you watch it fall out of hyperspace, and it's pretty amazing. And then you weld the new door into place and close it, and the airlock is fixed.
What happens if a person falls into hyperspace?
They die.
What if they're in a suit?
They die.
Okay.
I've been to the edge.
What if a droid falls into hyperspace?
They fall out of hyperspace and eventually die. I mean, there's a very rare possibility that if you fell out that airlock, that Dex could stop the ship, turn around, and then make micro jumps going back along his path and possibly find you. But it's not very likely.
Just curious. So no superpowers.
No superpowers.
Damn it.
He wouldn't continue at a certain speed, with nothing to drag him down.
So he would, after he exited whatever velocity he went into hyperspace at, he would exit hyperspace at that velocity, and with nothing in between him, he would continue, but he would fall out of hyperspace. It takes a continuous feed of energy to the hyperspace generators to keep the window open. So if the ship loses power, you fall out of hyperspace.
I always wondered how that happened. It's not just pure speed.
No,
breaking physics. Okay.
You are in another layer of existence.
That's cool.
like a pocket dimension.
Right.
Yes, something like that.
Kind of the way that jumping through space time was done in shit. What's that movie? It's a book
Loop-
first.
Looper.
Well, most of the sci-fi universes use something along that premise as their
Right.
as their explanation for FTL.
Fold a 2-dimensional piece of paper and then stick a straw through it.
Yes.
So,
Interstellar.
Oh, Interstellar. You're right. That's what it was. A terrible movie.
so
All right, door done.
you guys got the door done. Very accomplished. And that's going to take you a couple days. So while that is going on, Randall, you've been doing this investigation. Have you given
Yes.
any thought to what you want to do?
First, I'm trying to gather some additional data. You say that there's just random scraps or like wrappers of food reserves stored about.
So they are specifically the emergency rations. Like they're not your normal food reserves.
All right, only emergency rations.
Somebody rolled 2 despairs.
I was just fucking around.
Oh. Damn, I was going to use those.
Try not to sound so excited, Archon. Like, jeez, I just heard your wood thumping the table right there.
That's not true.
All right, so it's only the emergency rations, not the standard food. And
That's
it's just
correct.
it's just wrappers out and about. Is there any pattern, or are these wrappers in one particular area, or are they
Well,
pretty random?
you're only finding them in the maintenance chutes for the robots, for the droids. Which to you is a very, very tight squeeze. Like it's not meant for a sentient person to be crawling through them. It's very uncomfortable for you, but you just barely fit.
Okay.
Lose some weight, fat boy.
Yeah, I possibly could, but
I bet the droid has something for that.
yes, I think that I would like to.
Been working on something.
Yeah, I definitely want to use the droids to do most of the searching throughout the chute, and not me.
Okay.
And let's see. I guess motion detectors would be a solid thing to have set up.
You want to set up motion detectors in the chutes?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of something that's slightly more efficient than having a camera and having to watch however many hours worth of footage to see if there's anything.
If only there was something that went back there all the time.
It's a trap.
Waz, Dr. Payne, would you guys like to participate in the investigation?
If we were informed of it, yes. Otherwise, I'm going to continue making my toxin removal drug.
I would like to ask Dr. Payne for some assistance with this, as well as if Waz is done sparring with this droid over here.
I have in the empty bay set up a rope course and am tied by my feet and have the droid now just pulling straight up and down. And I'm trying to do sit-ups and control myself whilst being whipped around on by my feet. And I apologize when I first see you to say that I couldn't climb up the rope as we were trying to run away from those bad guys last time. But yes, I'll help you find a rat. I mean, clearly we just need like a big old rat trap, right?
I was thinking about setting up some traps. But
Why
first-
don't we just send one of the garbage droids in there?
Because they helping with the hole right now.
Well,
He's outside.
The maintenance droids have been in and out of the chutes. The ship's very big. There's only 5 droids. They have gone through the chutes, every inch of them, and they haven't found, other than the wrappers, any signs of rodents. Like, there's no droppings, there's no chewed wires, stuff like that.
Right, but if they've gone through everything, then they've seen everything, right?
To their mind, yes, but they can't also be in every place at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an extra comm link. I would like to wrap that in emergency wrapper and throw that in one of the little maintenance chutes. Genius right here.
Just to listen to additional sounds.
No, I'm hoping that the rat opens it and I can hear it. Can I leave it on all the time and just talk through it?
What?
I mean, you can, yeah.
Here, ratty, ratty, rat.
Question: Could I? So we have droids that scour the ship, but they have like they probably have some kind of a pattern where if someone was trying to avoid them, it wouldn't be very hard. Can I make a schedule that kind of like converges, like starts on the outer edges of the ship and then slowly closes in, forcing, say, whatever they haven't seen but might be there to be forced into a spot where we can wait for it, or it'll be seen.
That's a pretty clever plan, actually. Do you guys want to go with that?
Uh, that sounds like a good plan. I was also gonna open up a thing of emergency rations and try to just set a trap for whatever's in these chutes.
Okay, so a couple things are going to happen here. Item number one, Randall's going to go check the emergency ration stores. And there's only one place on the ship where they exist. And when you open it, it's like 2/3 empty. That's going to be the first thing you're going to notice. Dr. Payne is going to need both a survival and a computer's check to make the pattern and then program the pattern into all of the droids.
Let's see, survival and computers. I am bad at both. All right.
Yes,
Can we
but
put a lock on that door?
you know someone who's good at it. It's
Who's
already
good at
got a
survival?
lock on it.
Um,
Who's good at survival?
I have 3 greens in it.
2 greens. Is there someone better at survival, like the captain?
That's a negative.
So, but if you guys are going to tell the captain and he's going to ask about putting a lock on it, Randall would note that it has a lock on it and there's no sign of forced entry. So, whatever opened it had to have somehow bypassed the lock and opened the container.
Hey, Randall, is there one of those maintenance chutes in the in that room you're in right now?
let me take a look around to see what I can see.
In the workshop?
In the place where the rations are?
Oh, okay. So the rations are in the dining room in the canteen. That's where they would be, right? Yeah, that's probably most likely the place. And yes, there are maintenance chutes in every room.
What's the difficulty on the checks?
So it's 2 purple for, we'll say for both of them for simplicity's sake.
Can I combine the check with
Universe.
yes?
Say
All right, there's our survival. Never mind.
Got it? Okay.
All right, survival successful. And then your computers is what?
I have 1 yellow.
All right, so we'll combine that one. Yep. We got that one too.
Awesome.
1-1 and 3-2.
Okay. So the droids start, it's going to take them like an hour to effectively do this because you've got them zigzagging in such a way that they can't just make a straight line. But that's the only way to get 5 droids to cover the entire pattern.
Right. And the goal is to flush whatever it is to us. All right.
Did you want a specific exit point?
Yes. We would have a specific exit point, and that's where we are waiting. Preferably a room that has that one entrance.
I just meant look on the map. Did you want to just go ahead and specify a room?
Here in the canteen?
No. The canteen would have tables and chairs. We want something that if it's small, it can't just hide under.
Big old cargo bay.
Is it full of cargo?
It is open. It's full of a ropes course right now.
It's so at the beginning of the session I pointed out that this is one of the few times that you guys have traveled empty and you spent the rhodinium that you had on hand or most of it to refuel the ship so you didn't have to pay for refueling the ship. So like this is the emptiest the cargo bay's ever been.
What's a room that has an airlock?
There's an
Airlock?
There's an airlock on either side of the rec room.
Oh, I see it. I'm trying to make sure I pick this right. Is there a room with an airlock Let's do the rec room because then we can just if we don't want it and it's just a rat, we can just flush it with the airlock. Right?
Okay.
That makes sense to me, right? Does
Yep.
it not make sense to anyone else?
Yeah, throw the dog down the well.
Is
You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a
I
thing
saved
forever,
that dog. Damn it!
ever and ever. They were talking about it in another stream today.
Uh,
So
listen, I didn't give a baby to a random stranger.
mhm. We talked about that too. I swear it was hot chocolate. I was not trying to get the baby drunk.
Even hot chocolate to a baby is terrible.
You know, the sad thing is, you giving alcohol to the baby was like third fiddle to everything else that happened.
Yep.
You gotta love friends.
Kizik had some very specific questions on how that dog survived, by the way.
Yeah, 60 feet, that's a 3-story building.
Like, question, I really thought when I threw it down the well that it would hit whoever was down there, and both things would be taken care of. But nope. Somehow they both survived.
You're also a big thing that then fell 40 feet on top of 2 small things.
I really expected a lot more.
And the
You would have been okay.
And the GM has learned a valuable lesson. Alrighty. Let everybody put your tokens in the rec room if you're going to be participating in the shenanigans that are about to ensue.
Nope, that's not me.
Oh, I really hope.
Oh, found me. I'm in the med bay. Maybe. I don't know if that's the med bay or not.
Don't I have a net gun? Hold on, let me look.
I imagine Randall has fashioned himself together just a big old butterfly net.
I think I do have some rope.
It's
And
an exploding butterfly net because it's not really random if it's not exploding.
true, I do like some explosives.
The ring at the end catches on fire.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to be jealous.
I don't have a fucking net.
Oh.
What sort of stuff do I have?
Alright, so
I didn't check the ship locker though. Here we go.
Yeah, I've got a backpack and another backpack. I'll start tearing apart the backpack to make a. Since I have 2 of them, I don't need 2.
you guys hear the droids converging on the room, and then there's like a tumbling from the above vents, and then out of the vent falls a 8-year-old girl.
The airlock? No, I'm just kidding. Little puncher though.
She's pretty scared, and she hides under your ping pong table.
Quick, get the net.
Can I just punch her out?
You gonna punch a little girl? Why don't you talk her out?
It's
will.
a stun punch, all right? It's better for everyone. Then we can put her in the med bay, figure out what's wrong with her, or vent her into space. One of them.
Go ahead and try your stun punch. It's a 2 red check.
2 red to punch a kid.
Can I add a black to that in any way, shape, or form?
Absolutely.
Are you going to try and block for Lucy?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You
Shove the ping pong table at him.
Go ahead and make it 2 reds and a purple.
It's a 50-50 shot.
Okay. So she reaches into Payne's joints and rips out something that was really important because he just shuts down. As she comes away with cables, he has suffered a critical injury. We're just going to say he's unconscious for the time being.
Let's take our chance. Throw Payne out the airlock. Now David has to play a little little girl.
Only if Gavel is a little Twi'lek girl named Lucy.
Whatever, I'll make it work.
Oh man, this really could be Firefly.
Yep.
All right, so Lucy, I don't know her name, obviously.
Oh, she's not speaking a language you understand either.
Oh, she is talking?
She is talking. You just don't understand what language it is. Anyone who wants to try to decipher the language is going to have to roll a education roll, and it's going to be 3 reds.
All right. Let me go ahead and attempt this.
If he gets triple disappears, he's got to go unconscious too. I don't know how that would work, but
He thinks too hard and pops a blood
yeah,
vessel.
it's
Aneurysms. They can happen anytime.
We're gonna get those. We're gonna get those despairs out of the way up front. All right, you successfully identified the language as Mandalorian. Your despair is you only know how to curse in Mandalorian.
I'm going to pull out my data tablet and point to it, and I'm going to write a word in basic that says hi, and then kind of gently hand it to her.
I'm gonna go get a candy bar and unwrap it and hold it out.
Okay,
Like it's an
Good
treat.
idea, too.
she's gonna look at the candy bar like she really wants it, but she's still terrified.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, hey, it's okay. No one's gonna hurt you. You know, come on out, and I'll give you this candy bar and a lot more candy bars. Just want to make sure you're okay.
Give me a charm or a negotiate, whichever you would like to do. Don't forget you get your
Yeah, I get a boost from seeing the edge.
Yeah.
Charm, huh? Since I'm in the boat, I get my bonus too, right?
Absolutely, it's your pride and joy.
Fuck yeah.
Look at her with your mysterious eyes, too.
Right? Lime Dilligaff. All right, so I get a boost for being in my ship. You said what was the difficulty?
Oh, I didn't say what the difficulty was, did I? I don't have her stats available either. Hold on one second. I'm a derp, and it's my fault.
Yeah.
We're just gonna say that it's one red because I don't actually have the card readily available. Okay, she comes out. She takes the candy bar, and she does start, like, if you guys are not going to be threatening in any way, shape, or form, she does start to, like, warm to you considerably. Like
I want to pull up a chair for her.
Yeah, she's gonna sit down. She is very, very young. She's like 8 years old. So
She doesn't understand us.
she doesn't seem to understand you. She also doesn't seem to understand the tablet that she received in basic.
All right, then I'm gonna look around and be like, "Where the fuck did we pick up a little girl from?"
Yeah.
Anybody?
I was gonna ask Mr. Clean how if he's ever programmed a language interpreting droid.
He's gonna be like, not that I know. So you know it's Mandalorian. You haven't told that to anyone yet.
Oh, yes. This girl is speaking in Mandalorian.
He'd be like, I could probably rig up a data pad to translate from Mandalorian to basic. Give me a few minutes.
All right.
Rosetta.
And he's going to start working on that. Y'all get one more action before he'll be done.
Man, somebody should go get her some like creature comforts. Or actually, let's turn Payne back on, but make sure that he doesn't throw her out the airlock.
I don't know. I'm good to leave pain turned off for a little bit longer.
yeah.
I want to be like, he's not really unconscious. He's just immobilized so he can see and hear everything. As you say that.
He tried to punch out an 8-year-old girl.
But she dropped out of the ceiling like a ninja.
I didn't say you could speak. You could just hear. Oh, man. Okay, so Mr. Clean finishes with the tablet and he hands it back. And when she says something next time, it is, please don't hurt me.
We would never. I'm gonna flash a glare at the immobile Mr. Payne. How long have you been on this ship?
3 or 4 months.
The fuck? The fuck?
I didn't have anywhere else to go. And you guys were in port. And this, you gotta realize 3 or 4 months, it's like you may not have even been hired onto this ship yet.
Yeah, that was like before I had the
previous
ship.
crew. She's been on board for a while, which is why so many of the emergency rations are missing. But your previous captain and you never really employed droids up until this point, and she's been living in the droid maintenance chutes.
All right, so like she is like super dirty and
Oh, yeah.
all the things.
Yeah, like
all right.
Her makeshift clothing is made out of like emergency supplies, like survival blankets and shit.
All right, we're gonna have to get you some clothes, get you over in the hygiene area. Yeah, you're gonna have to get yourself better. You're now part of the crew, though. Don't go hiding in the vents.
She's. Let me roll something real quick.
Yeah. Are we gonna ask her where she's trying to go?
Where does an 8-year-old girl know where to go? If she's on this boat, where else could she go?
Yeah. Well, I guess we can also ask what happened to her family.
So when you go to reach out and touch her shoulder when you're trying to tell her she's part of the crew now, she instinctually jerks away and does what only Waz would understand as a martial arts move that you end up on the deck looking up at the ceiling wondering how you got there.
Note to self: don't touch little girls. I thought I already knew that, but now I know more.
This kid's like a pedophiliac's nightmare.
Good. We should launch her into like the core system.
What?
Take
What?
care of
What?
the pedos.
I just tried to do that, and you were like, "No, don't do that."
No, that would kill her. I mean, like, use her as a weapon. I'm just joshing. All right, I'm on the ground. I'm gonna say, "Ow." I'm gonna say, "Look, I'm trying to help you out. Not trying to hurt you."
Waz, you want to give me a unopposed brawl check, not to actually do anything, but to see if you recognize the style, as you were the only person that would. Nope, you don't get it. I mean, you know it's Mandalorian, but you already deduced that she had some Mandalorian connection from the fact that she only speaks Mandalorian. All right, so she is going to be apologetic about slamming decks. It's a reflex. And, she's going to say that for a long time she was on the run with her parents, and then and she won't say what happened to her parents, but you get the impression they were probably killed. She just isn't ready to talk about it yet. And then it's real fuzzy on the things she says until she ended up on the ship, and she's just been hiding here because it was safe.
Can I ask her if she wants to go back to Mandalore?
She's not from Mandalore. She has Mandalorian connections. So you ask, and she'll be like, "That's not where we're from."
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. You said she was a Twi'lek?
She is a Twi'lek. That's what she is.
Okay. So how does a Twi'lek go to just only understanding Mandalorian?
Well, logic would dictate she was raised by people who spoke Mandalorian, and she isn't old enough to have picked up any other languages yet.
Okay. Now I'm less confused. Thanks for explaining that.
All right. You guys have a little, stowaway, we'll call her.
Thought her name was Lucy.
And her name is Lucy.
Is it like short for something that we can't pronounce?
Nope.
Okay.
Her name is Lucy. Her mom called her Lucy.
I think Waz has a protege. Aww.
And you guys didn't kill her because Pain rolled 2 despairs.
It wouldn't have killed her. It's a stun punch. How much strain did she have? You can't die from strain loss, right?
No, you can't die from strain loss.
All right, good. It's going to be a bad strain punch.
So we can get Pain turned back on?
So she's ripped Pain's motivator out.
So I'm not motivated?
Motivator is the part of the droid that takes its droid brain and tells the body what to do.
Oh, we're gonna have to repair him then.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, yeah, I got it. I've seen this before, and he's gonna start digging on Pain's internals. Pain can't feel it, but you're completely conscious. I wasn't kidding about that. While you can't will your body to do anything, all of your receptors work, and you're 100% aware of everything that's going on. Mr. Clean's a competent mechanic. The first competent mechanic that's laid hands on you, and as long as you can remember in your very short memory.
Oh, I hope he starts unlocking some memories for you.
Well,
Any chance I can make some moany sounds?
after a few moments, Clean's gonna be like, huh, he's got 2 motivators. I don't know why this other one isn't plugged in. Probably because he's hodgepodge together. I'm just going to plug in the secondary one. And he does that. Pain can move again.
I'm standing back up. I'm going to apologize to the small child who I thought was a dangerous rat.
Wait, you were going to stun a rat?
What else would you do with a rat?
Squash it.
Well, you can squash it after you stun it. They're really fast.
I'm glad Lucy took your arm off or your mover out.
He's
I'm
got
going to
another
ask
one.
Lucy if she can show me those moves later.
All of the droids that were helping, as soon as you say that, skitter away.
They don't want to get their asses kicked.
They don't want their motivators ripped out. Okay. That resolves the first part of the things that we were going to do here. Do you guys have any other things you want to do during this week of hyperspace?
Well, now I'm going to make Lucy as comfy as possible.
Okay.
And I'm going to do my best to make it the opposite of that. She's clearly needing focus and discipline right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to be the hard ass. So I'm going to make her like a teddy bear out of a pillow.
Well,
And you're just going to like...
it's going to be
Make her
funny
beat it.
because Lucy is going to kick Waz's ass multiple times as an 8-year-old. She's going to literally climb up and down him like he's a gymnasium every time he tries to pull a move on her. I was saving that for later, but since you went straight to the I'm going to make her miserable, I was like, all right, well, it's time. So yeah, she's better than Waz at like every time, even when he's really trying. He can't get a leg up and he loses every sparring match.
While they're sparring, I would like to walk in and ask if she could train me.
This is now Waz's protege.
Well, she doesn't actually understand how she's doing what she's doing.
Oh, man.
She does not like. Waz understands what he's doing. His is a technique he's learned. Hers is almost just an instinct.
I am not disappointed every time she beats me. I keep encouraging her, keep showing her the actual like fundamentals of martial arts. This is a stance you should start from. I don't know how you ended up on my head, and I'm a little sad that I'm bleeding out of my nose right now. But
She also turns out to be a very good student then.
excited.
I cannot find the card I was looking for, which is disappointing. All right, Randall, you successfully completed my little mini task I gave you. While you're in the workshop, one of the things that you manage to do is your toolkit now weighs half as much and provides 2 boosts to what you're doing because you've basically taken half of the tools and put them into the equivalent of a Swiss Army knife because you're MacGyver and you needed a Swiss Army knife. So you now have a multi-tool that...
MacGyver or MacGruber?
He's MacGyver.
You don't know who MacGruber is, do you?
I don't get the reference. No, sorry.
You Google it.
I know it's a movie. I just have not seen it.
You gotta Google it. It's totally worth it.
Okay. So basically, Dex and Waz have become her new surrogate parents. And she's going to go on Sea of Thieves and be like, I play with my dads all the time.
Yep. These are my 2 daddies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Does Dad play with you too?
Right.
Well, yeah, I'll make sure that she's fed and comfy. And like I said, I'll make her a teddy bear out of a pillow. If you end up like making her train on it like a body bag.
Fill that pillow up with sand.
Right.
Okay. Oops.
All right.
And
I'm shocked that the droid shoots can be used that way. Maybe we should put some like laser beams or something in.
so the thing that normally keeps it from happening is they're so hard for a normal sized person to get through. Like in another couple of years, she'd be too big to get
Right.
through. I I'll,
She's little.
I'll let Randall slip through because he's fish-like. My assumption is that he has like more flexible bones like fish do, and he can kind of squeeze through. But even he is like pretty much too big.
He excreted some kind of gour gum and helped slide through.
So it's usually like something the size of an astromech is like the biggest it's normally supposed to go through it. But you could still put security measures in there. And she will explain, since you guys have been so friendly, that her parents taught her to track animals and stuff, and she basically did the same things with the droids. Like when they went looking for her, she did exactly what Payne pointed out earlier. She tracked their pattern, figured out how to avoid it, and slipped past. So she's already pretty good at all that stuff. Okay, you guys come up to the station. This station is known as Eris Terminal, and it's a neutral station. Dex, you can decide if you've ever been here before. The ship has been here before, and you know that it's a stopover point for the runs that are out towards Bespin and Hoth and such. It's kind of a rundown dump, but it's the only terminal with the refueling capacity to refuel the ship on the way to where it's going. So you're going to be here for a minute. You're also meeting your contacts here.
Yeah, this is my place. I've been here tons of times.
Okay.
This is like the sheets down the street,
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Where would I land the boat? It would be here.
So the boat's already landed.
Oh, way over here. Okay, I got you. I see it now.
So you guys have, there's lots of docking bays like this, but for narrative purposes, these are the important areas of the station. As soon as you step off the boat, Payne is going to be like, "Hey Cap, I got something to take care of." Now, Craven, you're not actually in control of your character. What has happened is some circuitry has activated when Mr. Clean was plugging shit in, and you're on some sort of autopilot. You're like a prisoner in your own body, as it decides to just walk off and go.
Oh, that was weird.
Yeah. So as far as the captain is concerned, you're going off to find medical supplies, but you're not in control of your body. Everyone else can decide what they're doing, and I'll get to Mr. Payne here in a minute.
So we got to set up a refuel.
Yep.
All right.
So
I guess I'll start with that.
Because you're not actually outside of the range of the ship, and I made you stop for narrative purposes, I'm not going to charge you for it. Because effectively, you didn't actually, like metagame, you didn't have to stop, but I needed you to stop for narrative purposes. So I don't feel right taking the credits away from the crew. Just for
I appreciate that.
So, but you do make arrangements for all of it. There is a weapons detection thing, but it's really just looking for like high-powered weapons. Clax has sent a message saying he's not going to make it tonight, so the main thing, which is the rotary cannon, you don't have to worry about that coming on board. But if you have any like heavy weaponry, it's going to beep for that. If you have pistols, it'll be fine.
Is this refuel going to take long enough to where I can make any progress putting up the magnetic seal door?
Yeah, especially if you want to. Like, if you guys want to make it a priority, you don't have to just leave as soon as you're done refueling. You can schedule the bay for a whole extra day so you can put that thing in, if that's what the crew wants to do.
That's a good idea.
Okay, that's going to take up another one of your hard points. So it's going to bring you down to 3 hard points available.
All right.
Okay. We'll do mechanics checks on that in a moment. Let's go ahead and resolve pain since I took control of a player character. Which is not normally my jazz, but I didn't want to rely on using subtle hints. So, you are in and out of, we'll say, quote-unquote, consciousness pain, and you wake up, and you're in the detention area of the facility. And Oh, I got some lag there. And you are in, basically, it's a droid diagnostics chair. Your
That guy was in the ground.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to where he's right. A couple things did not spawn in the way they're supposed to. I think it's because this is a pre-made. This is a pre-made cell. This detention area,
Mhm.
and it doesn't want to let him sit on the ground anymore, even though it did earlier just fine. Anyway, okay, so you're strapped into this chair thing, and there's little like mini robots that are scurrying over you, and like they're taking parts of you apart and putting parts of you back together, and something's being uploaded into your brain, and so when you rolled this character, you rolled part of your class as being the assassin class, correct?
I went gadgeteer.
Gadgeteer, that's fine, as long as it's a bounty hunter class. Because
Yep.
the whole premise of what's going on here is you were actually created by someone within the bounty hunter guild to be a bounty hunter robot, but something went wrong and you lost all of your programming. What's happening now is your programming is being re-uploaded. You're going to retain everything you had before, but you are now going to have a few extra features. Item number one, you've got what's known as a discrepancy protocol. You cannot tell any of the other party members in game that any of these things in your brain are happening. You can tell them that you are able to hunt bounties because they already know that. Furthermore, they're going to upload a program called a Tactical Analysis Virtual Intelligence, TAVI. And it's going to give you little pointers on how to handle certain tactical scenarios if you ask for it. Metagame, this means you can flip a destiny token to get a GM's answer to something. And B, it's going to be able to scan every person you encounter to see if there's a bounty on their head and allow you to electronically dispatch them and take care of their bounties. Basically, you will be able to tell when people have bounties on their heads just by looking at them. It also has the last bullet, and the last thing it unlocks is something called Lethal Force Protocols. In the event that you are pursuing a bounty, anything between you and that bounty that provides resistance, you will be able to use lethal force on.
All right.
So you're getting a full rewire. And when it's done, you're going to get control of your character back over again. And the cell is just going to open. And should you choose to, you're going to be able to just walk out. And this guy is not going to stop you or anything. But you can ask him questions if you would like.
So question. The reason I got wiped and all that was because they were covering up evidence.
Okay. So this guy doesn't actually know why you were wiped. He just knows that at some point you were wiped. Like you originally commissioned as a bounty hunter droid and then you were wiped. And he's just reprogramming you with what protocols you should have, because when they plugged in that secondary motivator, it also activated your tracking beacon. So now the bounty hunter guild can also track you wherever you go. Although Payne doesn't actually know that part. I'm just explaining it for you as the player.
Gotcha. All right. No, I'm gonna tell him goodbye and leave.
Okay. That's the response he expected from you. So he sees no problems whatsoever. You're still sentient, so you can still actually choose to obey or disobey a bunch of this stuff, but he doesn't know that. But you could have done that from the beginning, too. So you're
All
good
right.
to go. Next
Is
player.
this a market?
That is a market. You guys will get some shopping time.
Sweet.
So next we're going to go to the rest. Who wants to go next? I just dumped a lot of stuff on Payne.
Master Waz and Lucy are at the door, at the ramp, about to leave the Proto Shadow. I'm looking at her and trying to assess whether or not she wants to come and go shopping or stay on the ship. If she feels safe around me, or if I feel safe around her.
After a week of you guys sparring, or less than a week of you guys sparring, she's going to feel relatively safe with you guys. But she is going to seem tentative about leaving the ship.
She knows she can kill like all of us.
I'm gonna put my hand out and see if she wants to take my hand and walk with me.
Okay.
Flip him off the ship.
Oh, it's
Right.
all blues this time. She takes your hand. She even smiles a little bit.
So let's go get an ice cream.
Okay.
I'll walk folded arms beside both of them.
Okay. You guys come into the station. Dex, you're the only one that has the contact info for the job. Whether or not you want to take an 8-year-old to a crime syndicate meeting is up to you.
Yeah, that's probably not the best.
Or it is because they're gonna be like, you're gonna be like, go ahead, try to take her.
It's gonna earn her trust and find a well, throw her down. All right, I'm gonna try to find an ice cream though before we do this contact mission.
Okay. You can absolutely find an ice cream or ice cream like substance.
Okay, excellent.
And 8-year-olds are always all about it.
Yeah.
It's actually made with Bacta sweat. I'm sorry,
Bantha
not
sweat.
Bacta sweat,
I knew,
Bantha sweat.
I knew
Yeah,
what you meant. It's
Bantha sweat and Nutra butter.
also
yeah.
gross.
Frozen in deep space.
It could have been bantha milk.
No, it's too expensive.
Okay, so that he brings up a really good point. I hadn't thought about having Lucy at a meeting. So now someone's gonna have to babysit her. She could probably take care of herself, actually.
You're just gonna be like, okay, bye, and leave her in the middle of the square.
No, I'll get down to her level and be like, look, I gotta go meet some unsavory types.
I was gonna say, are you looking for a paladin?
No, God, yeah, I need a knight in shining armor that's giving out food, and I'll just pass her off on him.
Well, I can walk her back. I can walk her back to the ship, and I can start repairs.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want you to miss out on other things too, and you should be a part of the meeting if you want to be.
Payne walks out of a door that says restricted and is just like nothing happened.
Hey, did you find any medical supplies? I don't see any like bags or anything. You got it like hidden in your robe.
I have medical supplies on the ship.
Well, you didn't find any to buy though. I thought that's what you were doing.
Why would you? Oh, uh, yes.
What'd you get?
Some supplies, medical supplies.
All right. Okay. Well,
I have a stim pack. Do you need a stim pack?
no, I was just you said you were gonna go get some medical supplies. I kind of expected you to come back with more than just a stim pack.
I have two.
Two stim packs. I've got two stim packs.
Well,
Did
then
you
why
buy
did
them?
you take one from me?
Did you buy them today?
No,
You're acting really strange.
you're acting really strange.
Probably.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Do you
Look,
need to build the small organic?
absolutely not. What we need to do is meet up with the guy that I'm here to meet, like this contact.
Okay. Are we taking the small organic with us?
No. We're
Are
gonna
we
take her
leaving
back to the
the
ship.
small organic all on its own?
She can be on the ship. She's already been on the ship 4 months. I can trust
Yes,
her with the ship.
but we didn't know that, and now you are leaving a small organic all on its own on a giant starship.
Yep. There's got to be a little bit of trust.
Mr. Clean is there.
Yeah, that's true.
Mr. Clean and all his cleaning droids.
Yeah, a lot of good.
Yeah,
did.
they found her. I think Waz and Lucy are just going to stand right outside the restricted area door.
Okay.
Let you guys go in.
Okay.
Hey, my new protocols. Do they pick up anything off of Randall?
Oh, That's a good question. You didn't specify in your backstory that you had a bounty, did you, Randall?
There's no. I don't remember a specific bounty. I think it was a lot. I'm a suspected person.
Yeah, I think you are just a person of interest. So that would be no. He gets nothing off Randall. You will get something off Clax when he's back. But he's not here,
Oh.
so we won't pick on him today.
I hope it's pricey.
It's not. It's because it's from he jumped bail on Corellia on your last mission.
Oh. Well, that's important to know too. We need to get that to go away.
What's he worth?
500 credits.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not
it's a
very
lot
much.
of work for 500 credits.
Actually, you're going to find that most of them, your cut's going to be really small. But it's also going to be like, you're just going to come across a guy you were going to kill anyway, and he'll ding for 200 credits. It's going to be like that.
Yeah.
Extra loot.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a way that Payne gets a little bit of extra money, and it adds like a bounty flavor to his character because he wanted to use a bounty hunter class.
The bounty hunter classes have all the good stuff.
I almost agree. I think smugglers are pretty broken too. All right, so Dex, Captain, who you taking with you? Waz is staying out here. Well, maybe Waz is not staying out here.
Oh no, we're just gonna stand right by the door. Bodyguards. Or we're gonna do some squat thrust right here. That sounds terrible.
It does.
There's
It does.
a stun turret above the door that just watches you like a hawk while you're doing that.
Well, he does. Wait. While he's doing stun thrusts with an 8-year-old, there's a camera.
And a turret.
You said that there's stuff to shop for. Is there going to be time after this meeting
Yes.
to shop for?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna
Yeah,
give
we're
it
saying
after we resolve all the narrative stuff. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to do some shopping.
I got you. Just want to make sure we're not going to miss out on that.
Yep.
All right, then. If Wes and Lucy are going to stay out here, I think the other two are coming with me inside. This is the contact, I hope.
Okay. So you come in, and there's some ruffians, some of whom you recognize, and a young Hutt, which is not something you've probably seen before. He's actually, mass-wise, only about twice as big as a human, so for a Hutt, he's pretty small.
It's not a shoot. Thank God.
So what?
Oh, there's going to be a toy billion flying around somewhere.
Nope. So he's gonna be like, welcome, Captain. I've heard such good things about you. And he looks around and notices that most of the seats are taken, and he's like, I'd offer you a seat, but now that you're here, we can start the meeting as everyone has arrived. And he's like, well, first, let me do some introductions. Captain Dex and crew. I'd like you to meet Captain Teal, and Teal gives you a nod because he's the one you already know, and his daughter. And Ralu Tinkert, also known as the Kraken. And this is Zach Vermont. He was a former Bespin Skyguard. We're here today to make some money and organize a heist. Everyone here is up for a heist, right?
Absolutely.
Excellent. There's a rather valuable auction going on Cloud City on Bespin right now. And while I had originally intended to raid the auction for some of the materials, I found security there to be discouraging. And talking to my Wingguard friend here, I found that all of that security for the auction had to come from somewhere. So instead of trying to raid the auction, we're going to make just as much money off a much bigger prize. You see, Bespin, as many of you know, is one of the primary sources for Tabana gas in the galaxy. And one of the places they pulled security from were the storage facilities for said Tabana gas. Tabana gas is currently trading at roughly 20 credits a liter. And there's a significant number of liters on an entire storage platform. I already have most of the planning done for this, so for each of you, you won't have to worry about most of the logistics. Captain Dex, you'll have the hardest part of this operation, however, as I want the entire platform and it won't fit inside of your ship. So, our plan for your part of it, Captain, is that you will go in, dock with the platform, pull it out of orbit, and then jump into hyperspace with it, delivering it to a predetermined location. Obviously, the wing guards are not going to allow you to do this. And that's where the Kraken, and he points to the full-blown TIE regalia pilot, like he's wearing TIE fighter gear, but it looks 50 years old. It's beat to shit. He's got 2 pistols. He looks like an old Western cowboy version of a TIE fighter pilot.
I like him.
It's where you're going to come in. You see, you're going to, with the help of the Sky Guard captain and his cohorts, you're going to provide cover, as where the Dirty Deeds is going to provide a distraction. If everything falls into place perfectly, this should be a pretty decent and quick smash and grab. Is everyone okay with the broad strokes of the plan?
I'm good with it so far. My part in this is that we go in, we dock with the platform, we pull it out of orbit, and then we're going to jump into hyperspace. Skyguard's giving us cover while we do this, and the Dirty Deeds is the distraction.
That is correct. So, where there are some technical problems with it, first and foremost being that the platform will be both armed and manned. Captain Dex, I leave it to you to deal with that problem however you see fit. But it will be an obstacle you will have to overcome. Secondly, it's a kind of a technical challenge. You're going to need to find a way to tow it out of the atmosphere, and you're going to need to attach it to your ship in such a way that you can jump into hyperspace. He's going to nod to Randall and be like, "It looks like you brought a Moncal mechanic with you, so I'm hoping you can figure that out before we launch the mission and give us a go, no-go within, say, 24 hours." Now let's talk about your payments for this. Captain Dex, I can offer you either a complete cargo load of the Tabana gas, which, while you will have to offload it yourself, would probably net you about 200,000 credits. Or I can pay you 50,000 in cash for your services. Obviously, the hassle of unloading the Tabana gas is a inconvenience for you, but I think the difference in price would probably make that the better option for you. But once again, if you prefer hard cash, we can do that. I'll also pay half in advance if you take the cash option.
Do I have to decide right now? I might find somebody that I can unload Tabana gas on.
You do not need to find. You do not need to decide right now.
Okay.
However, if you want the cash advance, you obviously need to tell me that before you decide to jump, or we decide to launch the attack.
I gotcha.
And then he turns to Captain Teal and he's like, "Captain Teal, as we discussed, you need a transponder swap on your ship, which is quite a pricey operation. I will provide that for you in exchange for your job here, assuming that your ship makes it out of the other side of this intact." And Teal gives him a nod. He's like, "It'll make it out. We always make it out." And then he turns to the Kraken and he's like, "As for you, your request was the hardest to accomplish, and I truly hope that what I've acquired for you is worth the services you provide. But I have managed to acquire 2 of the TIE defenders you asked for your force, and that will be your payment if you're able to keep the Bespin wing guard at bay, which your reputation says you can, but we'll see." He looks around and is like, "Are there any other questions, or should we adjourn for the time being?"
You said at first that Oh, yeah, I got to find a way to attach it to the ship and find a way to jump with it.
Yes, those are your technical challenges. I also want to reiterate that the platform is both armed and manned, although not nearly as well as it would be if it were fully operational.
Right, because there are soldiers, or normally there are guards, but they're at the auction.
That is correct. Most of the security forces, they wouldn't call themselves soldiers, more like security forces, police officers. But they won't take kindly to you stealing the platform, especially while they're on it.
How many people do you know?
We don't know off the top of our head, but he looks at the Bespin Skyguard. He's like, "How many would you guess?" And Zach is like, uh, 15 maybe. So the normal complement is 40, but most of them won't be there. So 15 to 20 tops.
Okay.
And do you have
When
any?
do you want to do this?
You have 24 hours to finish making your preparations, and then we'll meet again right before we launch to make sure that everyone is able to fulfill their parts of the deal.
Do you have any technical specs on this platform that we're trying to attach to our ship?
Yes, yes, I do. And he will hold out a data pad, and if you hold out your data pad, it'll beep, and you will see some technical schematics. It's a very simple platform. It's basically it's a disc of metal with all sorts of maintenance and repulsor lifts and stuff to keep these floating tanks attached to the outside of the discs floating in the air, and a remote control beacon to provide communications back to Cloud City. It doesn't give you exact specifications on security apparatuses, though.
Okay, but I have an idea of what needs to happen so the physics work for us to get into space.
Yeah, it's enough for you to start looking at.
Okay. Guess I'm not gonna be putting together that magnetic door.
I mean, you still can.
Oh yeah. So you said 24 hours. Can we go ahead and just knock that over to 48?
Sure.
That way we have time to do that.
The,
Alright,
the magnetic door.
Are you guys going to adjourn? So the other guys are going to start shuffling out the door.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm good.
you're going to see, as you leave, you're going to see most of them are heading to the cantina.
You can hear me berating Lucy. Lower in your squats.
You're going to
Come
hear,
on, you're better than this.
you're going to hear him groan as she kicks him in the groin.
That was good form, at least.
Somebody threw Lucy.
That was my bad. That's twice now. I've tried to grab my piece and grab somebody else's piece.
Go grab an 8-year-old's, man.
Will get you in trouble, even in the Empire.
Waz, we've got 48 hours until we need to mobilize for our next gig.
What's happening?
We're going to die.
Why don't we talk in private, away from prying ears, about that? And I'll take him to the cantina.
Go in the cantina. It's sparsely populated. There's only a few patrons other than the people who were just in the meeting you were in. But that's normal. This is a backwater station. This cantina almost exclusively deals with the crews of the ships coming and going.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna get our own table. We're gonna completely ignore the other guys because now we're like incognito, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they talking to each other, like, or are they sticking in their own little cliques?
So you know Captain Teal from the pirate rescue mission. Him and his daughter are the ones that you saved.
Right.
So you already know them. They're chatting amongst each other, but in low voices, like you can't hear what they're saying. The Wingguard commander is in a very intense conversation with Ralu. And there's definitely, if you're a observer of body language, you will notice that it's pseudo aggressive. Like it's almost like the Wingguard guy really wants something.
Huh.
And he's very tense.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get low over the table and start talking to Waz and let him know that we're going to go to Cloud City, where there's a Vespin storage facility that creates or stores Tabantha gas.
It's a
It's a gas platform.
it's a gas platform. Stores Tabana gas.
Anyway, it's armed and manned by security guards, and we're gonna go in and dock with the platform, and then we're gonna pull it out of orbit out of Cloud City, and then we got to find a way to attach it to the ship, obviously. But we're gonna find a way to jump with it into hyperspace and go to the final destination. We've got other crews here, like the Sky Guard over my shoulder here. They're gonna provide us some cover against the Vespin, and then the other guy, he's part of the Dirty Deeds crew. He's gonna provide distraction.
So
And we can either.
it's a couple things because it's going to bother me. The Wing Guard are the Bespin security forces.
You said the other guy was Sky Guard, right?
Yeah, the guy in the blue is a former Wing Guard member.
Oh, okay.
So he's still in the uniform of the Bespin security forces. Like, he is blatantly betraying them to come over to this side. And it might be an important detail for you to know. But you would be able to know just by looking at him if that's what he's doing. I also said Vespin when I meant to say Bespin. That's why you keep saying that, I think.
Okay.
I meant to say Bespin. Sorry.
One question: who are the Bespin? Are they good guys? Or are these bad guys?
So, since you haven't seen Empire Strikes Back, I'm not going to answer that question out of protest. But it's something that's in the original movies.
They're neither. They're marks.
Should we feel bad if we kill them?
Why would wait? You guys feel things?
Well, I mean, we felt bad when we killed that cop.
We did.
We almost
We
lost
try
some,
not to kill.
some money when we lost the. I don't know. Okay, so we can kill whoever we want. Are we going to be pirates then? Is it going to mess up our transponder?
Only if we get caught. Don't get caught.
So we should find a way to either mask our transponder or make sure that no one can report out who we are.
So it's just a big old jammer.
There's a couple ways you could do it. You could try to jam it. You could try to jam it. You could try to mask it. Those are not cheap modifications to make. Hence the entire payment. So like you already know if you were in the meeting, Captain Teal's entire payment is getting his transponder redone for his ship, and you're getting paid the equivalent of 200,000 credits. So
Wasn't that guy? Wasn't he caught by pirates? Why is he pirating now?
he's not pirating. This isn't pirating per se.
This is a heist.
This is a heist. And he has a ship called the Dirty Deeds. How good do you think he is?
They just bring you martinis.
I mean, you know what? That could just be that, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. So, could be he's a good person.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, really not likely, but maybe.
Well, all right then.
So, how do you guys... So, you bring up a good point about the transponder. There are a couple other technical questions you want to ask. They also brought up the question of whether or not you want to use lethal force. There seems to be some talk that needs to happen about that.
I'm fine with using lethal force. And I'm going to look down at Lucy as I say it. Be like, the universe is tough. It's kill or be killed out here. I'm sure you know that.
Wait,
And
are we
then
taking?
hand her an ice cream.
I've already handed her an ice cream. The world is tough, though.
Ice cream
Well,
first.
have ice cream and let's kill some people.
Yeah. You got to enjoy it while it lasts.
Wait, so we're stealing Tabana gas? Like a stray blaster just means we get blasted, blowed up?
Oh yeah.
Hey, Randall, is Tabana gas real flammable? Asking for a friend.
Um, pretty sure it's flammable.
Yes, it is extremely flammable.
This is how Wes dies. Happily.
So yeah, we got to figure out how to attach the platform to our ship too. I was thinking like we could weld some hooks and then basically use straps, like ratchet straps, to strap it to our boat. You know,
Captain, there's a relatively recent invention known as a tractor beam.
those are expensive and really difficult to get in the size we're gonna need.
I was thinking something a little bit more in the magnetic connection range, but
Ah,
You mean like a tractor beam?
not quite the tractor beam. But
He wanted a magnet on a rope.
Jeez.
why don't we take a look at those schematics when we get
yes,
back to the ship, and we can try to figure that out.
yes.
Uh, all right. What about? I mean, do we really have qualms with killing the security forces that are on this platform?
I don't.
I am as neutral as can be about how lethal we decide to get with our attacks.
Just want to point out a doctor just said he has no problems with killing people. And I shudder a little bit.
That was really strange. I'm gonna look at Payne and be like, "You used to have a problem with that."
I did.
Yeah, you told me a long time ago that took like some Hippocratic oath. You
That
couldn't
is
hurt
not
people
anything I've
or
ever
kill
said.
people. Okay.
Are
Uh,
you feeling all right, Captain?
hyperspace with this thing too.
You're a robot there for a second.
Are you feeling all right, Captain?
Yeah, I'm fine. Any ideas on how we can jump into hyperspace with this thing too?
We just need to bring it into our hyperspace field.
It's not quite that simple.
That's pretty close.
No
Yeah, we
one,
should.
no one here's like a super starship grade mechanic, but amongst the group, you guys would be able to figure out that it's going to put a lot of strain on your hyperspace generator to make a long jump with it, especially if it's haphazardly connected. Um, so you have a couple choices. You can either go really slow in hyperspace and burn a lot of extra fuel, or you can make a shorter jump or a series of shorter jumps.
Yeah, do we know how? I guess we do know the coordinates of where we need to take this. So
It did give you a rendezvous point.
yeah, I recommend the series of shorter jumps
Yeah, I like that idea too.
because as much as I have confidence in my abilities to put stuff together, and as much as Mon Cal are more for spacecraft mechanics, this is a bit beyond my level of expertise.
What if we had another hyperspace engine, Chris?
In the generator.
Yeah.
So if you have an existing hyperspace engine that isn't as strong as it should be, you can add that attachment to get a better engine. Or if you have a ship that has a hard point but no hyperdrive generator, you can add that attachment to give it a hyperdrive.
Wonder if the platform's got a hard point.
You want to try and put a hyperspace generator on the platform? That's totally something you could try to do. Wow, this is where like having Kizik on hand would really be valuable. Um, yeah, it's definitely an option you could explore. You want to turn the platform into a hyperspace capable ship.
I'm just seeing if that was an option.
Well, I had two thoughts. One was if we had another engine, we plant it on there and then we charge it from our ship. Or two, we add more power to ours so the field's bigger.
Randall, do you have any ideas which would be easier,
Um,
quicker?
I think that again, as far as more stable is adding it on there, because the connection that we're going to have between us and that platform is going to be not the most stable thing ever. So having some thrust on that platform would probably be better.
Yeah, I mean, your main two problems with towing it using your ship will be the stability of the connection and the extra mass it adds. Those are your two problems there. If you try to make it have its own engine, you basically need to find something that already has a hyperspace engine, hyperspace generator engine on it, and then you need to physically attach it along with a means to navigate through hyperspace to the platform. You still need to tow it into orbit, and then you need to jump into hyperspace with it. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't even contemplate the idea of you guys putting an engine on it, but it is a really good solution.
Does the Transgalmeg fast attack craft have a hyperdrive?
It does. It's a starfighter, not a starship, so it is not an ideal solution for putting the engine on. You'd have to dismantle the fighter, which I don't know if you guys were going to have a problem with that. I am going to go ahead and metagame say I was going to let you trade that ship in at this station since it has that pirate mark. But if you want to dismantle it and use the engines instead, I'll allow it, even though it's really too small to do it, if you kind of do what you did in the last session where it's a one-time use thing. Like, you know you're going to destroy the engines doing this.
Yeah.
But it'll jump one time.
And we still have to connect it to the main boat, right?
You do. It'll also
Okay.
it'll also take time because you got to tie it into the superstructure in certain ways.
So we
do
can't
have
just.
some additional droids to help us with that.
You do have a bunch of droids available too. That's also a valid point. Yeah, you can't just dock it to it and try to jump it into hyperspace. It'll never work that way. You'll have to actually tie it into the power systems of the platform itself.
But we can still land the attack craft on the platform, right?
Yeah, and then take it apart and do the thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Now the attack craft is a single seater fighter. Also keep that in mind.
Yeah, my thought is we do a quick jump into hyperspace initially, and then we're in the middle. When we're in the middle of nowhere, then we go and do all the attachment of the other engine onto that, and then go the rest of the way.
Oh, you want to do it that way?
That is my thought process of just get the hell out of there as quickly as possible, and then once we have more time, go through all the additional mechanic stuff.
I'm gonna take a real quick bio because I just drank a Red Bull. I'll be right back.
All right. I believe that I'm gonna fill up my glass with some whiskey.
Oh yeah, join me.
So this thing is just in orbit on a planet.
So it's floating
not-
over top Cloud City.
Okay. Is all the gas in those little external little pods? Or is there
I
gas
haven't seen-
inside it too?
I haven't seen a schematic yet.
Oh, I thought it was this thing right here.
Is it? I guess it could be. So yeah, we'll need all those pods. Those are like the storage tanks.
I just want one of those pods to wiggle around in hyperspace. Touch something that it's not supposed to touch.
Yeah, we don't want to lose one. I wonder, like, that's part of programming the hyperspace generator, though, is that we include those in its field.
Do we have a reason to go onto the ship?
Onto the platform?
Yeah, if we just have a Moncal and a Arconin say like, hey, we're here to do some maintenance on the computer systems. And then he just installs a hyperdrive. And we goes like, hey, it's ready to go, guys. And I go
Then
snap
they
a couple
jump
of
with
necks. Well, you'd still need to tow it out of atmosphere before it could jump.
Yeah. But we've got like 15 to 20 guards on it.
Yeah, and if those guards just trust us to do a couple of maintenance things, As we're like, all right, we're waiting for our ride to show back up. Two of them's necks could get snapped.
Well, I mean, we could also, while we're doing these, installs, just fill the ventilation system with knockout gas.
not dioxis gas.
That would work too. I thought you literally just said we don't kill.
I said we need to be concerned about who we kill.
A lot of mixed messages from you. Are you feeling all right?
Yes. Are you feeling all right? I'm getting a lot of mixed messages from you.
I'm feeling
Yeah.
great. I have never felt better.
So we need some tow cables. Like really thick cables. Are you still thinking tractor beam?
I still think tractor beam. I don't even know if tow cables are a thing in this universe.
Tow cables are definitely a thing in this universe.
Are they better than a tractor beam?
No. Well, it depends on your specific situation. If you're flying an airspeed around the legs of an AT-AT, then yes. If you are trying to pull a platform, if you're trying to pull a platform into orbit, the tractor beam is a much better, albeit much more expensive option.
We can see if there's one in the shop here.
What do we have on board?
You don't have anything other than the cargo tractor beam, which is just a small internal tractor beam.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't move shit. It's got a 6,000 pound limit.
Oh man, I can see now just like a giant tractor beam in the actual cargo bay. When we finish that magnetic field thing, so they just open the door and then just pulling ships around now.
Okay, so a tractor beam, its default cost when you're not on a station on the mid rim is 10,000.
That seems super cheap. That does not seem super expensive.
Well, I haven't upgraded it for where you're at yet. I also need to have you roll to see if it's there. So somebody give me a... What kind of check do you think this would be? Streetwise? Underworld? I'll be pretty flexible if someone wants to throw a skill out they want to use for it. But it's gonna be a 2 red, 2 purple check.
I got a solid streetwise check.
I've got 4 greens in Underworld. Would it possibly be Outer Rim, or is it more Underworld than...
Outer Rim's completely acceptable if that's the check you want to make.
Okay.
How about leadership?
Negotiate, maybe.
Yeah, I can do that.
I've got I've got a yellow and 3 greens in Outer Rim.
All right, you try to find it. I'll pay for it and negotiate the price.
Can we negotiate our payment to include this tractor beam, assuming it exists?
Oh, try to get it from the hut?
Apparently it doesn't exist. Or at least I could find it.
We could take the cheaper option, the $50,000, not take the Tabana gas. He said he'd give us 25 grand up front. That's probably a good cost for a decent sized tractor beam. Maybe that's what we can get out of this. Because I haven't negotiated that side with the hut yet.
Yeah, I guess the other part is how often are we going to use this tractor beam after this?
Fuck, man, if it can pull a whole station out of orbit, I think we should use it a lot.
I was thinking, have you ever used the harpoon gun in Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, right? Like there's a, wreck just floating out in space. We could, stabilize the wreck before we go to it.
I was thinking when they come in to attack us on the big ships, we use the harpoon gun to float around them so they can't get a shot on us. We just move them into each other. It's a good dog.
He's
Such a
a
good dog.
He's a good dog. Stop. Oh, you're going to make me mute me. He's barking at you.
biter.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I'm not sure which of those sounded more vicious, her or the dog.
Okay. So you guys didn't find a tractor beam on this station.
Can I make a streetwise check now that he made his underworld check? His underworld check.
We're not going to rotate through going through every check you guys want to make. You made a check. You didn't find it on the station. It was sketchy that something of that class would be here to begin with. Because the kind of tractor beam you need is like the kind they put on a Star Destroyer.
Can we supercharge ours?
No, yours. So when I say you have a cargo tractor beam, it is a pallet jack. It is a little manual thing that sits on the railing in the cargo bay that you point at crates to move them from one spot to another.
Can I work it out with Gemba Samreg then? That the $25,000 right up front, that can be the size, the Star Destroyer size tractor beam, right?
Yeah, if you want to try to work that out. So do you want to try to get the money and then try to find one? Or do you want to just say, in lieu of the 25K, can we have a tractor beam to start?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. And I'm going to hit him with my negotiate check if I have to.
Okay. Sure. So your character wanders back to the hut. And go ahead and give me your sales pitch, and I'll tell you the difficulty.
So one of the things that my crew and I have been talking about is the ability to attach that platform to the ship. You and I had talked about just taking the Tabana gas. It's $200,000 worth of, or I'm sorry, credits worth of gas, but I won't be able to unload that kind of thing. So the other option was the 50 grand. So instead of the $25,000 up front, if you could help me out with a Star Destroyer class tractor beam, that would allow us to stabilize this platform and pull it out of orbit. I think that would make or break this deal. So if you help me out, I can help us out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. You didn't mention in there whether you wanted to, because the tractor beam only realistically costs 10,000, and he's offered you 25 up front. If you're not going to ask for that 15,000 credits in difference up front and paid in advance, then it's going to be a really easy check. And when I say really easy, it's going to be 2 purples. If you want the extra,
yeah, I want that 15K.
If you want that 15 in credits, which I figured you would, we're gonna call it 2 reds instead, because now you want him to do you a favor and give you the credits.
I mean, he was going to give me the credits anyway, right?
He was, but he's worried about. So what he's gonna have to do to get this is he's gonna have to call up his bosses at the Hut Cartel and say, "I need a military grade piece of hardware." And oh, by the way, I'm also going to give them credits. It's not impossible for him to do, but he's going to lose a little bit of face. Of course, if it's that or the mission doesn't happen, he is going to do it. But he also knows you have other options. So it's if you roll the 2 red check and you pass, he's absolutely going to do it, and it's going to be installed for you. So you're gonna get a lot of stuff done. If he fails it, he might just tell you find another way. But he'll still offer you the credits, because credits are actually easier than the tractor beam.
Can I downgrade one of the reds by taking 5 grand off?
You could flip a destiny token.
Fuck it, I'm gonna roll it as is. Go big or go home. Damn
You're
it,
going home.
Yeah,
I'm going home.
He's gonna be like, I can't get a Star Destroyer grade tractor beam for you for. In the time amounted, and like I'd have to call up my boss. The whole point of doing this is I don't want to have to lean on my boss for anything. I want to be my own boss, and I need to prove that I can pull this off without asking for help. If you can't do it, I can find a captain who can. But I have a feeling that you're resourceful enough to figure out how to pull it off.
Yeah, I understand. Was I close enough to my ship to get that extra boost?
Sure, you want to roll that extra boost.
I just want to roll it just to see if it's the one boost that's gonna ruin the day.
That would have.
Yes.
Yes, it would have been. All right, that's
You
fine.
can retcon it if you want.
Awesome. Yes.
So, okay. So he's still going to give you the speech, but at the last minute, you're going to be like, yeah, but like, if we hook this thing up with tow cables and it falls back into the planet, how's it going to make you look? Because that's the argument I would have made.
Right.
And
It's smoky.
he's gonna stop and be like, all right, you have a point. And then he's gonna be like, all right, fine, I will give you. Well, you rolled advantage too, so he's like, I'll give you the 15K and I'll have the tractor beam set up. And we need to leave in 48 hours on the money for this to work. And he's gonna start making phone calls. All right, guys. Who else wants to do things? Who else wants to prep? Who's got ideas on how to do things?
Shopping.
I want to start taking apart this ship so we can get the engine.
Okay, that's absolutely a thing you can do. You also wanted to install that magnetic field.
That's a lower priority than making sure that we have an engine for this thing. There's 48 hours.
Okay.
I'm guessing that it's going to take longer than a couple days to get that magnetic field set up.
The tractor beam also takes up a hard point, so with the tractor beam and the magnetic field, you're down to 1 hard point remaining for the ship.
Oh, I don't think we actually put up the magnetic field.
I'm just letting you know where you're at, because
Okay.
we got to keep track of that.
All right.
Is that right? I think that's right. You back to tank is 1. Magnetic field is another. Tractor beam is another. No, you have 2 left. Am I missing something? I really need to do a custom sheet for the Proto Shadow so we can keep track of all this. I think you have 2 remaining. Okay. So let's talk about you dismantling this fighter. A couple things I want to know. How thoroughly are you dismantling it? And if you're dismantling it here on the ship, how's it getting down to the platform?
Let's see. No, it's definitely not going to be big enough, or I can't take it into small enough pieces to have the droids move it from point to point. Is there enough space out here on the deck?
Are you just pulling the hyperspace generator out, or are you pulling the engine out?
You
Uh,
need both if you want the platform to jump. The generator needs an engine in order to make the jump.
So what would we need to do just to land the ship or land the fighter on the platform and then do the conversion?
Oh,
You
like
would need to land the ship and then take it apart and mount its engines, navicomputer, and a hyperspace generator to the platform, and then someone would have to pilot it through hyperspace like that.
So, question: So we have to tie the engine and the hyperspace and we have to tie that into their systems, correct? Can you hear me?
Sorry, I was yelling at my kid. Say it again.
We have to tie the hyperspace and the generator and the engine into their system so that we can basically move the whole thing, right?
Yes.
And it has to be bolted down?
It has to be tied into the power. So the way that I'm imagining this working, now realize this is just headcanon.
I got you. I have a plan. I just need to find out what you want and then explain how I can make that work.
The hyperspace generator is going to tie into the power conduits of the ship, and that's how it generates the field to jump you into hyperspace. So the engines in the field need to be tied into the actual existing power conduits of the platform. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yes. So why couldn't we land the fighter on the platform and tie it directly into the fighter, as in that there would still be an active cockpit that you could drive the whole thing from?
So
That's what I was thinking.
If it's like welded in and part of the superstructure, I would accept that. But it's not just going to be land, hit a docking button, and then jump. It would have to be rip cables out of ship, take out an arc welder and arc weld the structures together. Like, you could still just weld the ship to it. I would allow that. But
I'm imagining like it would be like you land and then we put clamps or something to secure the ship to the platform.
Well, it's not going to be clamps. It's got to be physically attached.
Welding clamps. That's not a problem. I get it. That was just the way I had seen it in my head. Like, you know how you see the guys, they drop the thing and then they hammer gun it into the whatever they're putting it on. It's permanent.
Yeah, it's more or less a permanent attachment. Plus, you're going to burn out the engines anyway, so it's not like you're going to be able to recover the fighter.
Right.
I'm not looking to recover the fighter. I was looking to make it so that we could just drive the fighter there, land it, and then Randall and the droids would hop out and start going to work while we dealt with the personnel on the station.
It's a completely doable thing.
You just drag
Okay,
a
so
power conduit over and plug it in, and then you also have a piloting cockpit already in place with the nav computer, everything right there at your hands.
Which does solve
Right.
one of the other problems I was going to give to you, which is the platform was never meant to jump into hyperspace and isn't going to be shielded. So the way I saw it, you only really had two choices for a pilot. Either you use some sort of cockpit, or a droid has to be the pilot.
Does that gun also? Or does that ship also have a turret on it?
Nope.
A fighter?
Yeah.
The fast attack craft has 2 ion cannons and 2 laser cannons and a concussion missile launcher.
All right, so
And
my,
we'll have to. So we need a welder or some sort of machine that would help us weld that thing, the fast attack craft to the platform.
Each of your astromechs has a built-in arc welder.
And then, do we still need tow cables to attach it to our boat?
You will still need some way. Well, you have a tractor beam coming in, so you're
Oh,
going to use a
right.
tractor beam to tow it into orbit. You will still need to get it out of orbit. And the other thing is that it's not going to maneuver virtually at all. Like that little fighter's maneuvering thrusters are not going to be able to do anything other than jump from point A to point B. When it jumps out of hyperspace, you'll need to be there with a proto shadow to tow it, or it'll just float ballistically.
It doesn't need to maneuver because we have the tractor beam. Like, we're just going to drag it with us. The only thing the fighter's doing is providing additional hyperspace.
Yep.
Well, then we do need the magnetic shield if we're going to shoot it with the tractor beam in space. Right?
That tractor beam doesn't go in the cargo bay.
Oh, my bad. I thought it did.
No.
Not the big one.
So the big one you just mounted it's mounted to the bottom of your ship unless you specify otherwise. It can shoot 360 degrees out of the bottom of your ship, and it is able to hold a large ship either immobilized. You can pull it towards you, or you can push it away from you. There are all kinds of rules for it, but in essence, it's a gunnery check, and you can move other ships around, even if they're bigger than your ship with this particular tractor beam.
Okay.
This is an upgraded version of the thing that held you in place during the encounter with the Imperial Corvette.
Would this counter theirs?
If you ran into that Corvette, you would be able to throw that Corvette around. You would be able to fight at their level or even beyond. This is bigger than the one they have.
What happens if they catch us with theirs, and then we use ours to push away from them while they're pulling us?
Opposed gunnery check, but you'll have an advantage because you have a better weapon.
Okay. I was just curious. Like, sometimes opposing fields cause other things to happen.
It's a. If you're worried about ripping the ship apart, that would happen on either Triumph or Displayers. Like, if you're talking about doing damage to the ship, like the opposing force is shearing a ship in half, that can happen. This is a really serious piece of military hardware.
Yeah, I'm pretty psyched. I don't even care about these things, and I'm pretty psyched.
Yeah, I'm excited for the future possibilities.
All right, so we've ironed out our plan now, right? Other than we have to deal with whatever's on the station.
We still got some wrinkles. Who's going to fly the fast attack craft? And then the rest of us all have to deploy at the same time to take out the guards while Randall and the bots weld the fast attack craft onto the platform. And then who's going to fly the platform out?
Can't the astromech fly it?
I think that's asking a little much of an astromech.
The astromech, if all you're asking it to do is the hyperspace jump, it can do that. But it's not like, if you wanted it to fly a combat mission, you're right, it would be too much to ask. But if all you want it to do is program a navicomputer and hit the go button, it can do that.
I mean, really,
the platform?
It's going to jump with us, so we can't share our astrogation check with it.
You can do that. That's what. But someone has to be in the fighter to hit the button. The droid is completely capable of doing it, but like when you share your astrogation check, that's just the calculation. Someone still has to hit the button.
Okay, I'm tracking.
Unless you get a special thing called a slave circuit, which is a whole other bit of lore we're not going to go into today.
How many people does the fighter sit?
One.
One.
So it has to be Randall then.
Sure.
You also have to figure out how to get the droids down there. I guess they could, because they have magnetic wheels, clamp to the outside of the fighter and ride it like a surfboard. But if Randall throws any threats on his piloting check,
Well, can we just maglock Randall and the droids to the outside in a spacesuit, and then have Clax drive it? Since he's the second best pilot, I think.
I really don't want to use Clax when he's not here. I know that puts
Yeah.
I
you guys
feel
in a
you,
slightly
but we're down a man, so
I wanted to use. I thought Clax may have been best on the whatchamacallit, the
Tractor beam.
the tractor beam. Since that's gunnery.
He is absolutely the best on the tractor beam by like miles. He's
Yeah.
got 2 yellows and 2 greens for that.
Yeah.
we have to clear the station before we can do any of this, correct?
That is also true.
Okay, so we clear the station.
It's also worth noting that the station is not in space. It is in Bespin's atmosphere. Bespin's atmosphere is, while very light, technically breathable. There's nothing stopping you from opening the cargo bay doors of the Proto Shadow and repelling or something down to the platform.
Can we shoot each other over with the tractor beam?
Yes.
Would any of us survive that?
I would definitely want Clax to be making the gunnery checks. If you guys are going to go with the let's use him even though he's not here, which I am going to allow because you're right, you are a man down. But it's still the possibility, like one despair, and there will be reds involved.
Oh,
Figured,
man.
like, right after I said we're a man down, I already figured out how to, like, we just don't try to do everything at once. We have to clear the station, then we set everything up. We can't split up until we've cleared the station. Like, initially I was trying to clear the station and have Randall doing his thing.
Doing the landing and welding while you guys clear the station.
Right, and that would have worked if Flax was here. But if we drop the clearing party from 3 down to 2, I mean 3 on 20 is tough. 2 on 20 is unlikely.
Yeah. So for the record, stuff like this and where you had to like pay to shuttle down to Corellia is why I gave you guys the launch to begin with. The launch that your ship originally came with can carry the entire party, and it's pretty tanky.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna need it. We're gonna need it back now.
Yeah, that's in storage, right?
Yeah, it's in storage on Noctal.
Yeah.
I think we'll be going back for that soon. All right, so this station, the people inside it, so they're in atmosphere, which means they're breathing, like they don't have helmets and shit.
Nope, they can breathe the air. They're basically wearing the exact same uniform this guy's wearing. They are that guy.
So if we could get enough gas into their ventilation system, we could knock them out.
Assuming that they're inside at the time and not walking around on the outside. Yes. Something else you need to take into effect. It is a platform. There's a very small office. There's a lot of open to air space.
Yeah, I was wondering if platform meant like that, or if it was like not a ship, but still a base.
Hey, are they allowed to shoot?
Are they allowed to? Yes. Do you want to be extraordinarily careful doing it? Yeah.
Is there some sort of alarm system on this platform that we can get Master Waz to sneak around and try to pull to get them off?
Yeah, we have to get the communication system down. It cannot work. If the communication system is allowed to work, we're fucked because the entire planet will be coming for us.
Yeah.
That's absolutely a thing you can do. Yeah.
Yeah, I was also thinking about like pulling the fire alarm and having people evacuate to not catch fire.
We still have to take care of some business for Master Waz that would help with that. I'm going to do that real quick so you guys can continue to think. Because Master Waz, while he's while he's roaming around this shop, is going to come in contact with a guy who's going to be working on a gauntlet. This gauntlet
Where's the shop?
it's going to catch Waz's eyes. There's no set inventory shop. I was just going to see what you guys wanted, but I already told Waz what was coming for his thing. So he's going to see this gauntlet, and he's going to see he's gonna see the potential in this gauntlet, and he's gonna buy it. Now, Waz, if you want to explain what this thing does, you are welcome to.
Have you seen like those martial arts bracelets that stack on top of each other?
Nope.
Oh, it kind of looks like just rope wrapped around your arms. That's what this looks like.
Like,
Okay.
like lots of rings.
Yes, exactly. And if it's just, yeah.
It's like a collection of like 20 iron bracelets that
Yeah.
you can use to like cover your forearm.
Yes, that's what this looks like.
But it's made of rope.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some rope I could sell you.
No thanks.
It's he's
I bet this catches on fire or something.
he's made some thematic changes to what we
Well,
originally
it's-
had talked about.
It's still the same thing. It's just wrapped up and it looks cool and martial artsy.
I get what you're going with. I just think they're really confused on what it does because of your description, which was probably your point.
That's exactly what it does.
Yeah.
Is there an underside to this platform?
There is.
Like the upside is where there are 15 people that are dangerous, and the underside is where there's just kind of like gears and things are keeping it floating.
More or less, yes.
Is there any way to look at the schematic of this place? I mean, we should go back to the ship to look at it, right?
I mean, I have to pull up the map because it's a custom model I made in order to actually do it. I'll give you as best description as I can. But in short, it's a circular steel platform that is... You walk on the platform, not in it. There's no rooms or anything on it. And on the outer ring of that platform are a bunch of tanks that are like 5 stories tall and 5 stories below the platform. That are filled with... They're giant bags of Tabana gas, very thin metal sheathing containing it. And in the center of the platform, there is a tall spire that is... Realistically, it's like an 8x10 shed that's really tall, that has all the communication and repulsor gear and all that stuff. Basically everything keeping it in orbit and in communication with Cloud City. And the guards basically patrol the platform. Some of the guards are actually mechanics, and when a cargo ship that wants to unload or offload comes up, they arrange for it to be docked with. So
You say the communications and the repulsor lift are all part of the same function?
they're all part of the same structure, but you can cut them off independently. If you cut this communications off, it's not going to start falling from the sky.
If you shot the communication tower with an ion weapon, it would fall from the sky.
Yes, you do not want to shoot this thing. You do not want to shoot this thing with anything other than that tractor beam. They're one staticky sweater away from the Hindenburg, all the humanity.
How Cloud City was destroyed by a couple of idiots.
Oh no, that's why this platform is miles away from Cloud City. That's why these platforms are way, way away from the city, and there are also hundreds of these platforms. It's not like there's just this one.
Hey, off topic, can you put out like you do the random kiosk stuff or the bags?
Sure,
I like looking through that stuff.
I got you. You want to roll me a skullduggery check to see if the off-books inventory is available?
Yeah. Skullduggery.
Give me
Where's that at?
two purple skullduggery, or streetwise I'll accept.
I think they're the same check. Yeah. You got robbed.
I am amazing. You're gonna pass it. Fuck.
Should have let me do it. Hey, can I check the back inventory at the bounty hunter place?
Oh, that's a good point.
I just want to like while Waz is over there trying to negotiate for his, I just want to walk into the restricted door.
Okay. It's going to take me a minute to get that sorted, but here's a couple of stores you can look at.
And I
It's
miss smoking.
it is now 10 p.m. So how do you guys feel about your plan?
I think we have the best plan we've had yet, and it's the first good plan I've heard us come up with when Clax wasn't here. That may not be accurate. That is simply how it feels sometimes.
So we're just gonna fly up to this thing and shoot it with a tractor beam.
I think as a cargo ship, we could try to fly up like we're gonna dock to it.
It's also worth noting that if you guys want to try the like skullduggery, you know, entrance, you need to get there ahead of everyone else because when the Kraken and the Dirty Deeds arrive, they are going to be shooting the security forces and doing things that are going to make, oh, I want to dock and do my job seem really suspicious. Does that make sense?
Ah, yeah. So they're. You said one of them is doing a distraction. Do we have any idea what they're doing? Can we talk to them?
If you want to talk to them, you can. They did
I
not.
think
They
that.
did not say during the meeting what their distraction was going to be.
Yeah, I think that would be important to find out. It might change our plan a little bit.
Sure. So you wander over to the captain of the Dirty Deeds, Captain Teal, and you say,
Hey, Teal. Remember us?
"Hey, man," and he's gonna signal the bartender, "Let me buy you a drink. I really still appreciate everything you did for me."
No problem.
And
No problem.
you know, it's not just me; it's my girl here. And he pats his daughter on the shoulder, and they have that whole like she's becoming as corrupted as he is kind of thing. Like she looks like she might slit your throat just as much as he will, kind of deal. They're definitely not good guys. Just so we're clear.
I'm gonna say, "Aw, I just came into a little girl myself, actually."
Oh man.
Phrasing boom.
That was
Jesus.
great.
Jesus, guys, come on.
Someone down a well.
You actually did it. I'm just like making puns.
Technically, I did no more than what you just did. I said something.
Oh, okay. Um,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. So anyway, the hut in there said that you were the distraction.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
about right.
I mean, it's kind of a risky job for us. It's not something that we would normally do. We normally like to keep a little bit lower of a profile, but unfortunately, we got pegged by security when we were making a run over in Ord Mantell. And even though Ord Mantell is a very independent system, there's still an Imperial Customs stations there. So now we have a kind of a warrant out for the Imperial services on the ship. So we have to get that taken care of. And the huts are the fastest way to deal with those Imperial warrants.
Yeah, I get that completely. Um, well, they said that you were the distraction. Do you have any? What are you gonna do? What's your plan there?
He's going to be like, I wouldn't normally tell people this because it could compromise the mission, but after everything you've done for me, I guess I can tell you. So our plan is we're going to go on the other side of Cloud City and we're going to declare a emergency in high orbit. And our glide path is going to intersect with Cloud City. In other words, we're going to make it look like we're going to crash land onto Cloud City. We're pretty sure they're going to scramble everything they've got to try to stop that from happening. We'll of course break off and miraculously recover before we actually hit or get shot down. But about the time that we're miraculously recovering and all of their squadrons and everything are starting to scramble, that's when the Kraken's supposed to come in and start sweeping them out of the sky. I really hope he's as good as he says he is, because otherwise we're going to have a lot of fighters to deal with.
Yeah, you think he's got some TIE fighters he's gonna pull in?
Cloud City uses combat cloud cars and Z95s for the security forces.
All right. Well,
Oh, you're talking about the Kraken.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, oh no, the Kraken. The Kraken uses a crate gunship, and his support squadrons are usually sticks. He's gonna be like, you didn't know about the Kraken? Really? He's kind of famous.
No, we usually only deal with the Megalodon. We don't see the Kraken very much.
Lols.
Kraken's pretty rare. Okay, so we were trying to figure out whether or not we wanted to go on the sly and try to slip our way inside, but it seems like everybody else is going pretty balls deep. So
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it that way, he's like, I would suggest just docking before the action starts. If you can get there first and you're already docked, it won't look as suspicious, and they will be distracted while you're doing things.
true that. We'd only have to lead you guys by like 15 minutes, maybe less.
Yeah. I have this deck of cards right here, Craven. That is the Bounty Hunter shop.
Well,
This one. Can you not see it?
see your hand. Red hand. All right.
Not red hand.
Oh, got it.
Okay, so now you gotta have an idea of what he's doing.
Yeah, and it sounds like he knows what everybody else is doing, so he just told us. I don't need to ask everybody else.
Okay.
But I think the clock is ticking, so we need to do our repairs and our upgrades.
So your tractor beam narratively is installed. You have the tractor beam now.
Okay.
Because they sent over a crew to do that. That's why I asked if you guys wanted the magnetic field too. Because Randall could be working on that while the tractor beam is being installed. Randall doesn't have to install the tractor beam.
The new plan for the ship to actually just land and weld the ship on. I don't think I need to do much with the ship.
Okay.
I kind of want to pull the guns off, but I think there probably won't be enough where it's not worth the time. So
You could prep it by like welding plates or angle directly to the bottom of the ship, so you have more to weld on.
yeah,
Take less time.
That seems like a better plan to prep that as opposed to this magnetic entry that is a nice to have.
Chris, my bank card's missing. Should be right here.
It was an actual credit card like the other ones?
Yeah.
Do you know how much was on it off the top of your head?
10K.
145,000.
You said about 10K.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is that gray crate there the trash can?
The gray crate is the trash can, yeah. I don't know what happened to it, so here's a replacement. That should be sufficient. There are 2 of them in the trash can.
Neither of them have 10K on them.
How can you tell
This
while
one,
they're in there?
this one belonged to what's his name? Because I never kept any Nicky Rays. This has got to be. That was not mine. That's not mine. I don't think there's anything on that one.
Nope. Okay.
That's not mine. That's not mine. That's not mine. Okay. I didn't think I threw it away.
I don't think it happened while you were doing it. I've been making maps and stuff, and I've had a couple explosions, and it probably got thrown off the table, and was probably laying in the middle of one of those maps.
All right. If it shows up, we can readjust.
Yep.
I don't think I had quite that much.
It's all good. I'd rather give you a little bit more than a little bit less.
Is there an armor vendor?
I can make one. If you just tell me what you're looking for, I can help you out a lot better.
I usually like to look at what you throw at me and then say, "No, I was just looking for armor." Because there's all kinds of stuff you have that I've never seen.
Okay.
And every now and then I see something I kind of like. Like I wouldn't have thought to ask for a spray cast, even though I just used mine last turn and I don't have it anymore.
How much fire paste do all of the vendors on the place we're at have?
You can spend every credit you have on fire paste if you really want to.
I would like to spend 900 credits on fire paste.
Okay.
Wow.
You figure out how many that is, and I'll duplicate them for you.
Where are you putting this shit at? Like you're just jamming it up your asshole?
Oh no, he and I have already discussed that every 10 of them is one encumbrance. So he has to carry. He has to figure out his actual encumbrance.
You just got a little bandolier and just load it with those things.
I might have oversold this. 900 credits gives me 300 fire pastes.
So you're
That's pretty encumbrance.
extremely over encumbered.
Well, I'm not going to carry them all. You're going to open a room and there's just going to be a vat of these.
You know what's going to happen is he's going to be walking into the ship. He's going to trip and fall, and one of them will ignite and just be a flaming orgy for a few minutes while Waz dies.
Would I do that to you?
Yes.
It's true.
All right, so I bought a weapons maintenance kit. I'm debating whether I should make it for rifles or for
So you actually have to specify a specific weapon.
yeah.
Or sorry, a specific class of weapon.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Dex and well, Clax isn't here, but I was gonna ask the two of them what type of weapon would be best for this.
Oh my god, this is so awesome. All right. Heavy battle armor or the anti-concussive armor.
So the reason I threw those heavy ones in is for your purposes. These are armor plates that are available to be added to your frame. It's important that you remember that because you can't give another player this armor once you purchase it for your character because it becomes part of your character.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give it away. I'm just
sure.
trying to figure out which one is the way to go. Like the heavy battle armor has 4 hard points, and it's a defense and 2 soak, but the steel skin is 3 soak, but only 1 hard point. Oof.
The way I'm reading this weapon maintenance kit, Randall, is if you just say blaster, it's all blasters. If you say slug thrower, it's all slug throwers. If you say melee weapon, it's all melee weapons. That's the way I'm reading it.
Yeah, that's the way I'm seeing it as well.
I would suggest blasters because they're the most common weapon.
Yeah, blaster it is.
I don't know if we want to use blasters at all.
Well, yeah, but this is for weapon maintenance purposes.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be for this one here, but
it brings up a good point though. Can we get some katanas?
Sure, absolutely. How many you want?
I definitely want a katana.
They're not really katanas.
Anybody else want a katana?
I'm trying to do everything I can not.
You just start throwing them at him. Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
also have less common melee weapons if you want them.
There's a pickaxe in one of those kiosks. There's also a vibro chainsaw in one of those kiosks.
Oh, I would do it.
Melee weapons.
Intrigued by the throwing daggers.
All right, so the protector one is 1 less hard point, but like 2 or 3 less encumbrance. 2 less. That seems like the better option. All right, I'll deduct this from my.
And is that vibro chainsaw? Does that take a gunnery check by any chance?
I have no idea.
It's a melee check. It's also a cumbersome 5.
That just
My
means
melee is
that
awful.
that means that I'm going to upgrade the difficulty. There's no way this kickbacks and takes your face off.
Yeah.
Here's an array of sword-like melee weapons because you said katana. I can also provide knives and shit if you want.
Where's that at? Oh.
These are just simple weapons. None of these are rare.
I want this vibro rapier. I'm totally that thing's fucking awesome.
I like
Captain's becoming Star Lord.
I like the cutlass better, but that rapier is yours as long as you pay the credits for it.
I will pay those credits. 1,200, right?
Yep. You guys want some daggers and other stuff?
Oh, stun gauntlets. Oh, I do miss those fan blades though.
Here, you kick somebody in the groin.
It's the same as my.
I thought you said your ears were ion. Because remember we replaced stun with ion.
We read on that last session because I never used the ion. We just left them as normal shock gauntlets that are installed in my hand.
I thought we went the other way with it, but that's fine. As long as we're consistent. Ooh, here we go. There's a weapon that I haven't seen you guys use, but I thought would be fun.
I'm debating whether I want to carry this Carlian cutlass, but I do all I can to avoid combat.
Can I put vibro knuckles on my hands with the stun thing? I know I can't use them both at the same time, but can I still wear them both?
I will allow you to wear them both, but you hit it on the head. You just can't use them both at the same time.
Yeah, all right, I'll buy these. You never know when you can't shock something to death.
For 25 credits, you can have a simple combat knife. I feel like everybody should always have a combat knife.
I am a combat knife.
Yeah, I've got a combat knife on me.
I feel like that's what all of the mechanics tools are in. I forget what his name is. What Randall's tools.
Oh yeah,
They all pulled up into that.
Yeah. His combat knife is absolutely 100% integrated into his into his armor. You can get as many of those as you want, by the way. That's like those basic rapiers. These things down here, where they're super cheap and super common.
That Van Blade's cool. That uses Brawl.
Yeah, I really like the Van Braid, but I've already done that, so.
I don't have a melee skill or a Brawl skill, so this is going to be fun.
Oh, I'm actually pretty solid at Brawl, and I don't know if I have a melee skill.
Oh, can I use the 10 XP from last session to get a melee skill real quick? All right.
I heard him say yes.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
That may have been me, but
I'm a yellow and a green now.
I still like the idea of having somebody just go and cause a diversion to get everybody off the platform.
Oh god damn it! I'm fucking muted. I'm like, why aren't you listening to me? That's why, because I'm muted. You can't listen to me. Anyway, so did you buy Full Throttle, like you said you were going to?
Yeah, that was last time though.
Yes, I'm just making sure that you did that. If you did that,
yes.
you still have 10 XP. Then yes, you may. As long as you remember to add that skill, you may do it.
Perfect. Yeah, I already have that.
Yeah.
I think it's on this sheet. Hold on.
Okay. Are we good with our equipment? Have we had a good shopping trip? Is there anything else we want for either the ship or ourselves, or in any of the other categories?
Does Lucy want anything?
I'm getting Lucy these shock boots.
Oh, nice.
Lucy wants these.
The shock boots?
Yeah, the Van Blade. I'll buy that for Lucy.
Fan blade and shock boots.
And is she just added in so that we have summer glow?
So what?
Is she just literally summer glow?
Yes. That's kind of her purpose. Yes.
Who's the preacher?
You are.
I'm the preacher?
Secret agent who doesn't know he's a secret agent who can randomly break people's necks and everyone's going to be shocked when the doctor who that's you.
Yeah. So we don't have a doctor.
No.
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
I mean, I fix things that are organic.
We actually literally have a doctor, by the way.
Shut up. That's not a doctor.
He is a doctor.
Got a PhD.
That's literally a DR.
Okay. Once again, are we feeling good on the shopping front?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Alrighty. So you're going to go to the hut and tell them that you have a plan and you're prepared to do the thing?
Yeah, everything on the ship is done, right?
The tractor beam is installed. You guys did not want to do the magnetic field. So everything that you said you wanted to do on the ship is done.
Oh, okay. When else are we gonna get a chance, man? We should do the magnetic field now.
Yep.
Yeah, we got time.
I'm not the one stopping you from doing it. Randall said he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, well, if there's time, I'll do it. Yeah, I've gone through 3 different things, and I was planning on prioritizing making some mods to this plane or this fighter to make it easier to weld to the platform when we finally landed on the platform.
Okay. I'll let you do both because it's 2 days that he negotiated for.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a series of mechanics checks. Now I suggest you prioritize the mission critical item first, so that if you critically fail it, you can use your other day to fix your mistake.
Yeah.
But you do what you want.
And top priority is getting welding some attachments to this fighter to make it easier to weld.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that this is you are taking access panels off so that the cabling you need to attach to the platform is actually exposed and easy to get to, and that there are plenty of hard points. Basically, you're building like stanchions, standoffs on the bottom of the ship that when you land, you can just basically weld them to the platform and be all hooked up.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So we're going to call this a 1 red, 1 purple mechanics check. You get 2 boosts because of your workshop. And you get 2 boosts because of your... Well, okay. Well, you can just roll. That's fine.
Oops. And
you failed.
I was way excited to roll.
Roll your boost dice, but without roll. Don't click the. No, don't do the exact thing you just did. Please let me finish talking. Okay. Put 2 boost dice in there and roll them, please. Okay. So still doesn't pass. Okay. Yeah. So you have a fuck ton of advantage. You have 8 advantage. How would you like to spend those? But you get this fighter and it's like pulling at a thread on a sweater. There's so many problems with this fighter that you didn't realize. This is a pirate ship. It was not well maintained, and nothing is where it should be, and the conduits you need to connect things aren't where they're supposed to be, and you got issues. How would you like to spend your 8 advantage?
You got another day.
Yeah, I do have another day to fix this up. Is it too much with the 8 advantage to... Is there like a tracking beacon associated with said pirate ship to find that and be able to disconnect that so that there's less of a mark on said ship?
That's not how it works. You can't bypass the transponder with 8 advantage now.
Okay.
That's something that costs 150,000 credits to do on this ship.
Okay. Wanted to see where the line was of what I can do with all 8 advantage.
Although I should have just said yes because you're going to destroy the ship anyway, but I'm not going to. Because then you guys will be like, no, we're keeping it.
Can he put like the jammer on there with 8 advantage? Jam their radios out?
If you want to make it so it floods the entire, like its transponder signal is broadcasting at such a high frequency that it blankets everything, you can. However, it'll be like firing a signal flare as soon as you turn it on. So
But it's gonna
it will not be.
it's gonna be its transponder code, right?
Yeah,
the ship that we're gonna kill anyway.
Yeah, so upside is it will be powerful enough that unless a fighter gets really close, they're not going to be able to identify the proto shadow, which is a really good thing for you. The bad thing is as soon as you cut this ship on, everyone's going to know something's up. So it's a good and bad thing.
Yeah, they should know that anyway.
Okay.
There's probably going to be a distraction going on and a bunch of fighting too. So
Yeah.
Okay.
That's acceptable.
Okay. So make your mechanics check again. 1 red, 1 purple. Give yourself 4 boosts.
Be a little slower this time.
There you go. All right, you got 3 advantages. You totally successfully install all of the stuff on the ship, and you've got your little jammer in place. Unfortunately, you didn't have time to work on the magnetic field because the fighter was just such a mess. I know what your 3 advantages are. So you get finished, and there are parts of the fighter all over the cargo bay now. Like you've been pulling them out of the launch bay and just putting them in the cargo bay. And you guys pick up 2 light laser cannons and enough parts to potentially install a turret on the ship with 2 light laser cannons if you want. So you now have enough parts to build a magnetic bay and a double light laser cannon turret.
Huh. Okay.
Because he did say earlier he wanted to pull light guns off of it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll let you pick which weapon system. It has the 2 light laser cannons, it has 2 light ion cannons, and it has a concussion missile launcher. It doesn't have any missiles, but it does have a concussion missile launcher. You can pick any of those 3 if you want.
It had missiles till he had 8 advantage, and now he's just got heavy pockets.
No, it didn't have it because that's the pirate ship.
I think the ion might be the best one to go for.
Okay. 2 light ion cannons. I'll figure out the exact stats of it later, but you have parts to install it if you guys choose to. Now you're running short on hard points, so you do have the hard points to install it, but you got to make sure that the crew's on board with it before you just start installing things. But I think you guys are actually ready to make the transition into hyperspace and go towards Bespin again. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get everyone's tokens off the table before I pack it up.
Okay, I'm already off the table.
I'm just going to put Lucy back on the ship.
I was looking for her. I was panicking.
Lost your kid already.
Yeah, dude. I got that little moment panic.
All right, everybody off?
I don't know where my token is.
I got him.
Found it. All right, thank you.
We're hanging out.
I forgot I added Chris's generator to my generator. So there's so many new things in there.
Mm-hmm.
In the mods, I hadn't looked in the mods in a while. I want armor spikes.
There's a lot better stuff in there than that too. Well, it's probably not better. Probably not better for you. That's probably
No, they're just expensive.
That's probably
The armor spikes aren't. The armor spikes aren't expensive. There's lots of things in there that are better. I just can't afford them all.
Oh, I should have bought a war spear. That's ranged light. I would have been able to do that. It's all right. I'm gonna hit people with the vibro rapier.
Crossbow would have worked too.
Crossbow would
Crossbow.
work. But I think they were only for sale in the Bounty Hunter store, so you would have had to buy it.
That's why I saw them and they didn't. I'm not. No, I'm pretty sure they were in the regular kiosk, the one next to the food bin. Because these vendors have a food bin right next to the all-you-can gun.
Well, I mean, they're not physically right next to them. Yeah, you're right. There is totally a Corellian crossbow in the standard kiosk. It's a Guns RS. Okay, so you guys traveling through hyperspace. Little travel montage. You do get another week in hyperspace if there's any last minute things you want to do.
Can I start teaching Lucy common? Or, sorry, basic?
Absolutely. What's your intelligence? So it's an education role.
We're going to start with cuss words.
Okay, she's going to teach you Mandalorian cuss words in exchange.
Yeah.
It's
I apparently already know Mandalorian cuss words.
You do. So go ahead and give me a 3 purple check. Failure doesn't really mean anything other than she doesn't learn it.
I mean, she's 8 years old.
Yeah. Okay, so you managed to teach her a few words, and she manages to teach you a few words.
Excellent.
You find out during your time that she wants to learn to fly the ship.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we're flying in space for a week. I'll let her totally putz around.
Okay. I mean, it's not like you can turn in hyperspace, but you let her play. Yeah. You let her play with sit at the controls.
Right.
Okay.
I unscrew the Grogu knob and hand it to her.
She's not Baby Yoda.
No, but you know exactly what I was talking about.
Yes.
So you guys are doing the plan where you come in ahead of everyone else, or you're coming in at the same time as everyone else?
No, we're going in ahead like 5 minutes.
It's going to need more than 5 minutes, but we'll
15 minutes?
We'll say you guys have planned out how long ahead you need to be, and you are going to be that far ahead.
Perfect. That's what planners do.
All right. This is what the platform looks like. Hopefully I described this adequately.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's working.
And we're going to be using the sideboard between the 2 dice rollers as the combat sheet for when you guys encounter people. Okay, so let me get the Proto Shadow set up here. That's actually probably about right, relative sizes to the platform. Obviously, Cloud City's just there as narrative, it's not to scale. But off in the distance, there's Cloud City. There's also a really cool picture of it on the panel below. Okay. You guys pull up to the platform, or you start flying in towards the platform. How do you want to do this?
I'm going to hail the platform, and I'm going to say, because we have the schematic, right? Do I have the platform number? I'm going to give out the platform number, and I'm going to say scheduled pickup, or we're here for scheduled pickup for the cargo ship.
Okay. You're going to hear back a voice. It's definitely going to be like, you can kind of tell this is an Ugnaught. Just because they have that nasally oinky sound. They're like, we are supposed to get all pickups through Bespin Control. Why are you contacting us directly? This is so irregular.
Sorry, this is our first pickup. I'm new to this. Forgive me.
Okay, roll me a deception check.
Shit. Can you roll it? I'm outside.
Oh, okay, well, I'll add an extra red or 2 to it. How about 5 reds? Do we like 5 reds?
Damn. Let's but remember all my boots, because I'm in the ship, and I've got the
you can't see his eyes.
Oh.
definitely had more time.
You really shouldn't let me roll for you ever under any circumstances. I roll so bad.
That's true.
So 1 failure, 3 advantages, 1 despair.
Ooh, okay.
So they're like, this is highly irregular. What's your operating number? And then they're going to be like, we've called security. They're going to come in and sort you out. And on your sensors, off in the distance, 2 bogies appear. They're maybe 2 minutes out.
How close are we to landing or docking?
That depends on how desperate of a piloting check you want to make. So, like,
Yeah, I want to dock quickly then.
okay, you want to like plunge the ship down into the atmosphere like full speed. You can definitely do that.
Oh yeah, I'll take a more a crazier approach, and I'll try to dive in
Okay. So
to
with
get
the,
it quicker.
okay. Is there anything else you want to do during this turn? You got a full crew here. You got lots of people.
Do you guys have that the fighter ready to go? Is everything ready to go?
The fighter's ready to go. I would like to jam the computers of. I would like to break out the Raspberry. Make it so they
Perfect.
can't communicate to anybody else.
Okay.
Isn't that just the big ship or the pirate ship?
The pirate ship will block the transponders, which is still a good idea, but it won't actually block their communication. So you can do both, though.
Yeah, do both.
Okay. So let's
Is
do.
Clax on the gun?
Yeah, we're gonna. For narrative purposes, Clax is always on whatever gun the captain wants him to be on.
Okay.
You may have to take if you want to switch mid combat. He may need a turn to get from one to the other, though. Like the tractor beam station's on the bottom, and the gunnery turrets are on the top. So. Okay, so let's start with. If no one's going to do a co-piloting check, it's going to be a 2 red, 1 purple piloting check. It's, space piloting.
Yo, where's Dr. Payne, my co-pilot?
Oh, sorry, I was in my Photoshop. Give me a second. You need a co-pilot check?
That would be nice.
I was putting my new armor on, damn it.
Yo, pull this lever. Actually, maybe Lucy can do it if you're busy.
I got it. Where's piloting?
Co-piloting is only a 2. Yeah, it's a 2 purple check. Under these circumstances, it's still 2 purple until you get in combat. Okay, downgrade that by 1. So take one of those reds and make them a purple. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are in fact an ace, and you basically get the proto shadow over top of where you want it to be, above the planet, and then you just turn off the thrusters, keeping it in the air, and it free falls at incredible speed. So much that the internal dampeners on the ship can't completely counter the inertial effects, and there's like that fluttering feeling in everyone's stomach as the ship free falls. People who can't see on the outside are probably wondering what the hell's going on. And then right before you get to where you want, you kick in the emergency thrusters at full power, which creates the opposite effect, and everyone feels pancaked down into the ground as you pull like 6 Gs of braking thrust and come to a hover right beside the station, right beside the platform.
That was rough.
Alrighty. So jamming. Someone wants to roll a jamming check, and someone wants to turn on the fighter, which is, all they have to do is power it up, so I'll just allow someone to say they're doing that.
Alright, so I'm jamming. And it's just 2 purples.
They are jammed. Who's turning on the fighter?
I was waiting for Randall to get into the fighter, and since he stopped and started tapping on a computer, I went, "Oh, And I have jumped in. I've started the pre-prep things and turned the thing on, and it's ready to go.
Excellent. Okay. The downside is the platform now knows something's going on. And Clax is going to come over the comms and be like, Captain, there's weapon emplacements powering up.
Take him out, Clax. Is there any way that he can shoot him?
Yeah, he's doing it. I was rolling for him. Okay. How much damage is that? Where's the Proto Shadows card? Okay. So he takes 2 of the emplacements out. Just ba-boom, ba-boom. One turret just opens up pinpoint damage. Which is really fortunate because a miss might have hit a tank. And he's like, okay, so this side's clear, but there's probably turbo lasers on each side of this thing.
Oh, that's good to know.
Okay. Let's start going in order you guys are in. So it'll be Ghost, and then Randall, and then Craven, and then Kizik, so that everybody gets a turn until we get into combat time. I just want to make sure everybody's actually getting a chance to do what they want to do. So, Ghost, what are you doing?
So are we officially docked yet?
You're
Or
not.
I'm just close to it.
You're just hovering next to it. Now you are in a position where you could just slide right into this docking port and dock with the side of it if you wanted. But if you want to lift it into orbit, you probably don't want to be docked with the side. If you want to offload your people onto the platform, you definitely do want to dock.
Yeah, so I need to dock first and unload everybody.
Okay?
I'll go ahead and do that.
All right, that's an unopposed check, so just roll your piloting one time. Are you not back inside yet?
No, I'm here.
You are. Okay.
He's moving.
I didn't really make it a 5 red check.
I saw the check. It was yeah. Unopposed.
Just don't roll blanks. All right, there you go. So you dock, and next up is Randall. Randall, Waz has jumped into the cockpit like acrobatically and powered it up. The engines have thrummed to life. It is ready to leave the docking bay. You're standing beside it. All the droids have clamped onto it and are ready to be ferried over. What are you gonna do?
I kind of just wanted to tell Waz, you can pilot this thing over, right? I'll meet you guys over there once you guys land. And since we're already docked, I can just basically walk across.
Waz. Kizik.
I hit the throttle.
Okay. Roll me a 1 purple piloting check, please. Almost failed it. Okay. So, comes out of the fighter, comes around. Now, your one threat is that when you land on the platform, there are immediately 3 guards as you're setting down.
We don't have weapons. Is my cockpit still open?
I mean, I wouldn't advise that.
Okay. I will leave the cockpit closed. I was going to try to use my landing as an attack. Whoa! That's 2 actions. I got you.
I'll let you try to pop your cockpit open and try it. We'll do rule of cool, especially if you want to flip a light side token.
So just go be solo in front of 1 on 20.
Yeah, so
Flip it.
Here's the sideboard. Okay. You've flipped your token. You are able to pull off your attack. I'm trying to find your token. There we go. All right, so go ahead and give me a coordination if you're not going to try to land on top of one of them. If you want to try to land on top of one of them, you can roll me a brawl attack.
Yeah, I would like to just brawl them.
Okay, give me a 3 red brawl check, please.
Oh my goodness. Death is coming. Oh no.
I was about to say, that's not your brawl check. Death is not coming for you. Okay. That is 4 threats, though. So figure up your damage and tell me how you want that to go down.
That'd be 5, 6 damage.
Okay.
So I come in hot. It scratches a little bit on the ground. I hit the eject button because I don't know what's happening here. The cockpit pops open, and as it's still sliding forward, I jump off of that. I'm going to say I use my new gauntlet thing to get a little bit more accuracy, and I pull as hard as I possibly can. It hurts my arm a little bit, so I'm going to take some strain. But then I just like spear tackle this guy right here. Boom! On the left.
Okay. All of that happens if you do more than 10 damage total. You take this guy out in one shot. The only caveat that I'm going to add to your description is that when you hit the eject button, you actually hit the eject button.
Oh, man.
The seat flies out from behind you. Now you're jumping off of it, so it doesn't really affect you. But the fighter was still kind of slightly off the ground. The eject button went off, so it blows the canopy, explosive bolts. The chair flies out of the cockpit. It's the ejection seat is now tumbling to the abyss in Bespin's atmosphere.
I did 6 damage.
Okay. What's his soak? That's not it. That's not it.
Did we get health back from last time?
Yes, you would have been able to, except for critical hits, you would have been able to recover everything.
Dr. Payne never rolled his critical.
No, he didn't need to. I just gave him his critical was he was immobilized.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Gonna remember that, Joe. Gonna
I-
remember.
Just gotta help.
No, I got you. I'm gonna be there for you, buddy.
I'm gonna need some medical
You know,
attention.
One of us does roll a lot more criticals than the other.
You're gonna need some backup, I suspect. Okay. Who's next? Dr. Payne's next. Yep. Because it kind of went out of turn, because I asked Randall what he wanted to do, and Waz took his turn.
Good.
Well, yeah,
Randall said fly, so I did.
yeah, I deferred. I guess I'm.
Are we trying to jump over to the other ship?
Yeah, you're docked.
Okay, so we need to run to get to where our ship just landed, the little one.
Yeah, and it's about 100 yards away. Like, this platform's huge. Now, with that said, it's all like open. Like, you can tell that there's like rough terrain here because of all the different access points and pipes and shit. But there's also walkways and stuff on here, and there's guards walking around. You can visibly see where the fast attack craft is just. It looked like it was coming in for a perfect landing, and then suddenly the pilot was a projectile, and it just kind of crashes down. Oh man, that's how I should have spent that threat. Oh well. So all the droids survived because I forgot I could kill them with threats. But it came down hard.
All right, we'll start making my way over there. Is there cover, or is it just a wide open space?
There are points where you can, like, if you want to jump off the path, like down into crevices and stuff, you can get into cover if you want.
Yes, I'd like to get over to him without getting blown into tiny pieces.
Okay. So should be a little bit more cautious. I'm going to put a dividing line on this thing. We're going to put you on the other side because there's going to be more guards between you and there. Let's find that token. I'm sure you're remaking it right now, but let's use this one.
Get new armor.
Yep. So there's 2 guards who are looking at that fight. Like, they've taken cover behind a pipe, and you actually come up behind them initially.
Can I knock them unconscious?
Can you render them unconscious? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. How would you like to do that?
I'm gonna punch one in the back of the head.
Okay, give me a brawl check.
Like going for a nerve cluster back there that I know about.
Sure. You've got an ability that bypasses soak, right?
Yep.
Okay, go for it.
Where is what's his difficulty?
Brawl checks are 2 purples unless they're upgraded, and I don't think these guys have upgrades. I'd be really surprised if they did.
They did a boost.
It's 2 purples. I'll give you a boost for doing a sneak attack. Okay. How much
Only
is that?
one. So that is, let's see, 3, 6. Where is the shock on it? I gotta put this on my character sheet so I can actually tell what it is. The shock gauntlet's gone too.
You sure you didn't leave them on a table when I packed it?
Yeah.
It's weird. Hold on.
I got it. Damage is okay. So there's no extra damage. So it's 3 brawn plus 3 for my check plus. So it's 6. Through soak straight to strain.
Okay.
1 advantage will not trigger my the shock option. You have to have 2 advantage to trigger an ability.
Okay. Randall,
Right?
you're the last to go.
Did it knock him unconscious?
No, it did not.
Yeah, I take a similar approach to the pain bot, but I'm even more cautious than him as far as trying to get close and trying to provide some backup to Master Waz.
Okay.
So I'm somewhere a little bit further back from where Painbot is.
You've come up behind Painbot. Painbot has run up here and smacked this guy in the back of the head, bitch slap style. And you are here. You're within weapons range, but you're not within melee range.
Yeah, and I'm holding fire for now.
Okay. So there's no other actions you want to take?
Trying to think of other stuff I could do. Again, I've just got a toolkit and I believe I have a fusion cutter with me too, but
Yeah.
wanna...
So your toolkit includes a fusion cutter. I think I gave you one to use for stats.
Yeah, here's the fusion cutter.
There you go. Yeah, that's included in your toolkit.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think if it's time to start cutting through some of the shit down here already.
We got 20 of these guys to take out, so.
Yeah, I know there's a host of people to take out.
Oh man, I just want you to cut a circle and watch him fall through it.
You do know there's tanks of Savannah gas all underneath us, cutting
They're
a
on the
circle.
outside. On the outside. It's not below us.
It was described as below us in balloons.
It's these things on the sides. It's top and bottom. They go 5 up and 5 down. 5 stories up and 5 down. But they are as thin as balloons. Like, it's a very thin sheet of metal that holds it in there. And if you shoot it with just a handheld blaster, the whole station will probably explode.
Yeah, there's no way in hell I'm shooting anything here. As far as any of these pipes and stuff that are on the surface, is there any specific pipe I can see that might be more advantageous to cut?
Well, what are you trying to accomplish by cutting them is kind of what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, most of these pipes are piping to Banna gas to the ports from the storage areas.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to cut any of that stuff. I was trying to either cut a communications cable or if there's any vitals.
Okay, so you could change direction and start running towards. You could take your full turn and run towards the communication station and be there the next turn.
Okay. Yeah, I like the idea of running towards the communication station. That way I can take that bad boy out.
You are not there with Pain, though. All right, bad guy's turn. Group numero uno. They're not minions; they're rivals. So this is going to take
Which one's numero uno?
the one that is currently smacking Waz in the face.
Okay, good. Not my group.
Yeah, I will get to yours in a second. All the baddies are about to go.
Yeah, I figured. I just wanted to know who was going to suffer first, so who was going to laugh last, that kind of thing.
I could switch them out for these, but let's stick with what we got now. We'll put 1 rival and 2 minions with each group. Okay, he's got a K-23 blaster pistol. Does he use it? Nope, he's too smart for that. Okay. So he's got a stun club. Let's see him use that.
I am going to take a defensive stance.
That upgrades the difficulty.
Upgrade all incoming difficulties.
Excellent.
And I got armored clothing, which has a defensive 1.
Awesome. That adds a black to it. Okay. So he's got 2 yellers. And he's going to take his whole turn. He did not hit. Okay, now let's do the 2 minions. They only have blaster pistols, but they're going to use the stun setting to reduce the chance they blow everybody up.
So instead of like 100%, it's like a 95% chance.
No, because the stun setting only works at short range, and we've already established that they're really deep onto the platform, so they're out of range of the balloons with short range weapons. At least that's how I'm going to justify not exploding everyone. Okay, so they get that. And defensive stance affects ranged.
It does not, but I could dodge it, but I don't want to because they're attacking me with stun damage. And I'm going to dodge it. I'm
Okay.
a ninja.
So leave that challenge on there. Does your armor give you a ranged defense as well as a melee defense?
It just says defense 1. I
So
don't know if
yes.
that's both.
Yeah.
David
If
says-
it doesn't say specific, then it goes to both.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see the card you got. Yes, that one does definitely do both. Alrighty. Good. So that's the exact same check except for theirs. Alright. They don't hit you either. With their 4 advantages, they called you to do like a backward flip and disengage from your character. Disengage from your target. These 2 guys. The one that you just smacked in the back of the head. He is going to turn around and engage you with his stun baton. Do you have new armor? It has how much defense?
1 defense.
1 defense? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that makes it difficult?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. He also misses. Oh, there's only 1 other one, so he doesn't get that proficiency. Oh, okay. There's not 1 other. So
Ate his stun baton.
So this guy turns around and goes to pull out his blaster, and his sergeant, who is the guy you hit in the back of the head, sees it and smacks his own guy. And it's like, don't do that! And it calls him to point his blaster at the ground, and it pulls the trigger, and it's on lethal shot. It hits the ground, and it causes a little bit of Tabana gas to jet out before the safeties kick in and explode, and his flaming carcass flies up off of the ship and off into the abyss while on fire.
Oh. All right. Well, I would like to go into him and to the guy that did it. And go, well, thank you. That was very polite.
The guy that you're facing is horrified at everything that just took place.
Honorable combat. Honorable combat. It is.
Ghost. Those 2 air speeders are almost on top of the Proto Shadow. You have just enough time to use a maneuver to get back to the other gun turret, if you would like to.
Oh yeah, I'll run to the other gun turret then.
Okay. How would you like to do this with Clack? So you're both in a topside gun turret at the moment. You can either, for instance, both concentrate on 1 target, both separate targets. You can have him go down to the tractor beam and hold 1 in place while you shoot it, or vice versa. There's, all sorts of things you can do. Just wonder what the tactics are going to be. You're muted if you're trying to talk.
What about now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. So can Clack shoot 1 and now shoot the other?
Yep, you can divvy up your targets. Okay, so it is 1 red and 1 purple to hit this thing from your current position, and it's a gunnery check.
I don't get any boost or anything.
You can take your whole turn, or you can aim. Oh, if you
Oh,
want
okay,
to, if
cool.
you want to take 2 strain, you can aim because you'd have to take a maneuver to get in the turret.
I'll take the 2 strain.
Alrighty. How would you like to spend your 4 advantage? You do miss.
I'll pass them on to Clax. Hopefully, I can force one of the fighters down into his view better.
Okay. Oh wait, that didn't put the proficiencies in. I'm gonna roll that again. Okay, that's better. So Clax opens up. So this one veers off, and this one is like trained to be his wingman. So he tries to follow him through that maneuver, but that just puts him right in front of Clax's turret, and he just vaporizes him. Poof, gone. It's not a starfighter; it's an airspeeder, so it just explodes. Okay. All right, Randall. You've reached the communication center. There are 2 guards standing in front of a door, guarding this communication center. As you come upon them, you realize that they look a little bit different than the rest of the guards. Hold on, we gotta wait for this thing to load. Oh my god, why is it doing this? Are people rolling random stuff?
I saw the chance dice rolling.
That was me.
Slaggy AF. Anyway, as you get closer, you realize that they're not actually guards. They're Ugnaughts. They are guarding the door.
Say, little pig, let me in.
That's fair. They probably will. Ugnaughts aren't really combat guys.
These guys look pretty angry, though.
They look
Not
quite-
by the hair on art.
Sorry.
Oh, pause.
Hey, I'm here to repair the ship. I hear there's been some damage to the communications. I'm the local IT guy.
They're probably going to shoot you. Go ahead and roll your deception check. 2 reds.
All right. Deception.
You've got this.
You're dressed as a mechanic.
Oh.
Give yourself a boost.
You're fucked.
The boosters will fuck me over.
Oh, okay.
Oddly enough, no. Oddly enough, no. That did it.
So they're like, and they kind of look at each other, and they're like, I mean, he's a Mon Cal. I mean, they're useless in combat. And he's like, oh yeah, you're one to talk, Bob. They're like, okay, go on in. And they let you into the communication center. You go inside. There is a single Ugnaught inside who's trying to actually repair the communication center.
So he just talked his way out of the straw and the wood piggy, and now he's up against the brick piggy.
Well, the brick piggy has his back to him and doesn't realize he's there. However, we're going to resolve the rest of that next turn because he deception checked, so he's in. Craven. You've got one guy left who just killed his partner of 10 years.
Does this guy have two strain left?
No, that guy.
Tell me he's got more than 2 strain.
He's got a lot more than 2 strain.
Okay, good, because I fucked up last time.
Okay.
But I got this time. I know the plus now.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just gonna punch him again.
Okay.
Same check.
It's 2 purples.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it's 5 plus 7
You're done.
plus.
He's
Hold
done.
on. Oh.
Yeah.
I got 3 more.
He was rendered unconscious. He had 6 strain left.
Okay, good. So the 2 wouldn't have made a difference. Good. I feel better now.
Okay. You rolled enough advantage that you didn't need, I'm assuming, that you can just... No, you did need it?
No, I didn't need it.
Okay. If you didn't, you can get to where Waz is with your remaining turn. With your remaining
Can I
maneuver.
stay behind the ship so they can't see me?
Yes, you absolutely can.
Attempt to ambush one of them on the next turn.
Yep. All right. Just counting how many baddies we got. Kizik.
Yeah, I backflipped away after they try to shoot me and hit me. I'm going to like front roll and try to kick this guy right in the shin, try to make him fall straight down, face in front of me.
Okay. Would you like to sacrifice damage to knock him down because that actually makes the check easier? Or do you want to try to do damage and knock him down?
I would like to do damage and knock him down
Okay.
because
So
this one I already hit for 6.
this is the one you already hit for 6, but your attacks don't bypass soak, right?
I do not have. I thought we talked if that was bypassing.
It's not a fist fight. It's not a.
Okay.
It's not an arena check.
It's not a brawl.
This is actual combat. It
Yep.
is. It's still brawl, but it is a fight for your life, which is different than a bar fight.
Gotcha. So no, mine do not.
Okay. So
So I just want to kick him, or actually no, I want to use my hands, but I was just trying to come up with a cool way to attack him.
okay, go ahead and roll your 2 purple check.
I had to use a maneuver to get in, so I can't aim.
But you do still hit. How much is it?
That's another 6.
Okay.
But he's on fire now, right?
He is not. I need 2 advantage.
He is, however, badly hurt. So you come in and you say you're going to kick him in the shin. So
Yep.
while you don't knock him down, you kick him hard enough to temporarily kick one of his feet out from under him and he loses his balance. He does stay up. Your one threat being that he's now basically standing over top of you for his next turn. And he's pissed off because, like, his eyes are watering. That shit hurts so bad. Yeah, it's that. All right, so that brings us to the baddies who are left alive. The first thing I'm going to do is roll to see if this Ugnaught turns around. He absolutely does not. He's engrossed in his work. Second thing we're going to do is this guy that you just kicked in the shin is going to try to hit you with that stun baton.
Take the 1 upgrade away.
Okay. But you still get your defense from the armor.
Correct.
Oh, look, he actually hit something. He hits you for 8 stun damage. Minus whatever your soak is. Alright, and then the nubs are going to fire their stun guns. They didn't despair. They did hit. And how much do the stun guns do? They hit you for 9 stun damage, minus whatever your soak is.
I'm unconscious on the ground now.
Damn, 1 round?
It was all stun damage.
It was all stun damage, that's true.
And that was 18 stun damage.
Okay, you are unconscious on the ground. Ghost. There is still one of these fighters buzzing around. It is being a lot more... It's being a lot more evasive. So it has taken the evasive action maneuver on its turn. It is also going to attempt to make a strafing run since it's here on the ship.
Okay. I think Clarks and I are both going to shoot at it this time.
Okay. Let's do its strafing on real quick. Okay. It does not hit the station and it does not hit the ship. So neither of the bad things that could have happened there happened. Go ahead and roll your gunnery check against a One red, one purple. Okay. That's enough to kill it. So then another one of these things turns into shrapnel. And that's going to bring us to Randall's turn. Randall, you're in this communications center. There's only one terminal in this room. It's basically a server closet. So think a closet with two sets of server racks, a terminal in the middle that is now half taken apart, and an Ugnaught who is like half inside of the guts of this thing, trying to manually wire things into his data pad.
Is there a way where I can manage to like reroute the electricity and just fry this guy?
Yes, rule of cool. You may absolutely do that. Are you trying to rewire it from a mechanical perspective of I pull this breaker and flip this breaker and that switch makes that overload? Or are you going to get into the computer terminal next to the door and try to slice it in?
I'll go for I flip the breaker and cause all the current to go through this one thing here.
Okay.
And overload.
I'm going to call it a 2 red mechanics check.
And then do I get a boost since this is my entire turn?
You can't aim a mechanics
Oh.
check.
You do get 2 boosts because you got your awesome MacGyver set, though.
You would have got those. Go ahead and roll 2 extra boosts.
Or do I clear and just roll the 2 boosts?
So what I usually do is I grab from this little bowl, and you can just manually press the R button on that twice.
All right. First one is a blank. Fuck this.
The boost dice. Okay, so yeah, you with 3 advantage, you don't fry yourself, and I'm very disappointed. How would you like to spend your 3 advantage?
My biggest thing is I don't want this guy to realize what I was doing.
Okay. So with your 3 advantage, I'm going to say you tuck in a corner. He is still going to get a roll to detect you, but he would have to basically triumph it in order to see.
In order to realize that I'm trying to.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, Craven. You're behind this thing. You ran up just as Waz is, like, he gets kicked back by the one guy with the stun baton, and then these 2 other guys just open up they just riddle him with stun shots. And he's still,
right.
he's very slow to go down, but he still goes down.
Alright. I'm going to somersault over top of this, kind of like running along the top,
Okay.
and then just come down above this guy and just, try to smash his head into the pavement.
Okay. Do you want to roll a separate coordination check, or do you want to make it all a brawl check?
I'll roll separate coordination.
Okay. Roll me a 3 purple coordination check. Okay. Unfortunately, you don't make it to him on that maneuver. You can take 2 strain and take another maneuver to actually, like, traditionally engage with him. Like, walk up to him, but he's going to know you're coming.
Okay.
And then you can take your action to brawl. Or you could just turn your action into a maneuver and you won't get to attack him this turn.
I'll take 2 strain.
Okay. You're going to engage range with him. Because he knows you're coming, I'm going to upgrade the difficulty, so it's going to be a 1 purple, 1 red brawl check.
Damn it, the ship is in the way of my,
Better?
Yes, alright. Alright, I'm gonna punch him now.
He's already halfway down.
It won't matter, right? I'm not gonna hit him at his health.
Oh, you're going to try
Or at all.
You
I hit him.
You hit him. So you're doing stun damage or not doing stun damage?
8 stun damage, bypassing soak.
8 stun damage, bypassing soak?
Yep.
Okay, he's down. Okay, and you use both your maneuvers, so you can't turn around and stem pack.
Yeah,
Kizik.
that's why I was trying to somersault over there. Figure I could take him out and then wake up Kizik, but
Yeah. Well, the advantage of dividing it into 2 checks is the way I'm doing it is you don't get any reds that way unless you fail. But if you pass the coordination check, then you just get a 2 purple melee. But if you would all with the brawl check, it would have been a 3 red brawl check.
yep.
Man, I
I probably
regret
should have
my
gone that way. I would have made it.
I mean, yeah, if you'd have done 3 reds, the way you rolled, you probably would have. As where Kizik is the opposite. You give him 1 red, he will despair every time.
Every time.
It's okay. I roll for shit too. You should see our D&D games. Oh, you did see our D&D games. Really glad that Matt does not punish those natural ones. All right, Kizik, it's your turn. Would you like to roll to try to wake up? It's 5 purples.
5 personal athletics.
Resilience.
Brilliant. Same-ish thing, right?
Yep.
Oh man, I'm strong now.
No, you don't want reds. There you go. Nope. All right, Ghost. The fighters are down. What would you like to do?
I need Clax to get on the tractor beam,
Okay. Clack
and
starts setting the tractor beam.
I'm gonna undock and get to where we can tractor beam this thing.
Okay. I forgot to make these 2 minions go. Hold on a second. I just, I'd already written them off in my mind, but they do actually get a turn. They're going to shoot their stun weapons. Oh, I'm just going to narratively say this because they only have stun weapons, and I just realized they're shooting at a droid. So they're going to shoot their stun weapons. They're going to riddle Painbot with stun shot, which does 0 damage, 0 strain. It does nothing to a droid. It just washes over you.
Pretend it hurts a lot, though.
You can absolutely pretend it hurts a lot. You can even roll a deception check if you want them to really think that they've knocked you out.
I don't want to fall down. I just want to shimmy and shake and look like it's, this is the end for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can totally do that. All right. Back to you, Ghost. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, so undock and have Clax do the tractor beam.
Okay, so you need to roll me a planetary piloting check. How fast and hard do you want to do this?
Not fast and hard at all.
Okay.
I'll go nice and easy.
Okay. So the harder your check is, the easier Clack's check will be, but he has an amazing check, so it is up to you. So it's gonna start at like 2 purples, but it's gonna take 2 turns to do it. But it's super easy. Or we can upgrade it a couple times, and you can do it in 1 turn, and it'll make Clax's check really easy.
Yeah, I'll take the 2 purple.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. And let me roll his real quick. He is going to get a boost. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. He can't go this turn. It takes him a whole turn to get from the top turret to the bottom turret. I forgot. So that's what he's doing.
I thought I was at the top because I thought he was at the bottom turret already.
There is no bottom gun turret. There are 2 top side turrets, 1 front, 1 back, and then there's a bottom side tractor beam turret. So he's going from the top of the ship to the bottom of the ship. Takes a whole turn.
Okay, I'm tracking now. I thought we had established before that one was up and one was down.
Nope, quite the opposite. And we did discuss it in length and detail that there's one in the front that can shoot all the front arcs, and one in the back that shoots the back arcs. And then we established I even said at the beginning of this combat that it was a whole turn for him to switch turrets. Alrighty.
Tracking.
Randall, you are hiding in the corner of this closet with this piggy. He is oinking maniacally. He
Oinking
is
maniacally.
oinking maniacally and triumphantly as you hear computer systems coming online. His data pad beeps just like that.
That motherfucker. I'm going for the same thing. I'm trying to.
Okay, you're gonna try to overload it again?
Yeah.
Alright, same check.
See if these blue boost dice do anything for me.
The trick to them is numbers. You need a lot of them.
God damn it.
How would you like to spend your 3 advantage? You want to stay hidden again?
Yes.
Okay.
As I'm looking, I guess there was 1 success and 1 failure total on there. Everything else is just advantage and disadvantage, or advantage
Okay.
and threat.
As a side thing, I will immediately tell you that he is calling for reinforcements, and he has pegged the Proto Shadow. Like, he doesn't have your transponder information, but he has described your ship to the security forces as trying to rob this place. Like, he is reporting you to the authorities as we speak.
Damn. Why
Okay?
couldn't I pass either of those checks? Fuck.
Craven, it is your turn.
Time to take out some minions. I would like to. I succeeded. It was a 2 purple deception check.
Yes, if you wanted to
I,
make them really believe that they had seriously wounded you.
it was successful.
Okay.
Uh, I'm going to now kind of like lean forward, like I'm about to fall over, and then just slug this guy.
Okay. They actually willingly get close to you because they think they've partially disabled you. So you are engaged with both of them if you would like to be.
Difficulty.
Difficulty for you is 2 purples, but I'm going to give you 2 boosts for your deception.
Same thing. I'm just stun knocking him.
Okay.
Oh. That is 9 stun damage, bypassing soak.
Alright, you knock both of them out.
I got 3 threat too.
Okay, hold on. Your stun gauntlets short out. They're not destroyed, but they are not effective for the remainder of this combat encounter.
Okay. Well, so far they haven't been effective, so.
Okay, but these guys are now rendered unconscious. Are you going to go ahead and wake up Kizik? I'll give it to you as a free action since it's going to be his turn.
Yeah, I wake him up. Even though he didn't wake me up earlier when he could have. And then he tried to call out my. Yeah, even though. That's right, buddy. I don't forget. I don't forget.
Okay. What are you doing, Kizik?
Oh, we have to go to comms, right? Or do I see anybody else on the platform first?
You don't see anyone in the immediate vicinity who realizes anything's going on, but the platform is like this really loud industrial thing that's in this open air with the whipping wind. Like, it's really hard to hear things on this platform. And you can see people moving on like the other side of the platform, which is like 200 yards away. But they're not moving towards you, and there's only a few of them. You can see the comm shed entrance and the 2 Ugnaughts standing. Well, you can kind of see that they're Ugnaughts standing in front of them. They're just little red orange blips to you, so you can't really tell what they are. But you can see that.
But that's our goal, is to cut comms. So I'm going to try to sneakily but quickly get to the comms.
Okay, it'll take your whole turn to get over there. Roll me a stealth check. It's going to be, the Ugnaughts are not super perceptive. It's going to be 1 purple.
More perceptive than me.
Holy crap. Okay, so they see you. Your 3 advantages, how would you like to spend them?
Oh man, no, that's way too meta. I was gonna say, like, hey, have you guys seen the mechanic?
I'll let you roll a deception check. It can be whatever you want. If you want to try to see, because like you're gonna know they spotted you.
Yeah, then I have a better story than that. I'm gonna say, oh my goodness, there's some stuff happening over there. Like there's a ship that just came down on the platform. I don't something bad is happening.
1 red, 1 purple deception, please.
I mean, technically everything he said there was true.
Technically, everything he said there was true. That's true. Okay. They are like, yeah, that's why we got, that's why we got dude in there calling for help right now. There's 2 mechanics in there working on the comm center. They're calling for help, and they kind of look at each other like, we see the giant ship. That's yes. The good news is they don't think you're a threat. The bad news is your story doesn't really do anything other than not get them to attack you.
Yeah.
Bad guys. Okay, let me see how much of your information has been passed on to the security forces. A lot. Okay, sensors start pinging. There's 2 more of those airspeeder cloud cars coming in at relatively high speed. Ghost, it is your turn, buddy.
Has he tractor beamed it yet?
No, he's gonna.
Oh, he's got to do it that turn, right?
Yeah.
So
It
I
would
need
it
to.
would have mattered. You took the easier check, so you won't actually be in position for him to tractor beam it until you take this turn. But this
Okay.
is an easier check.
All right, so yeah, I'm doing the same check, right?
Okay. It's also worth noting there are fighters coming in once again. That is the check, yes.
Where's the? Hold on. Where's the dirty deeds of the distraction and the other guy, the wing guard or sky guard guy?
That hasn't actually. What round are we at? We're at round like 3 or 4, right?
5.
We're on round 5. Okay. Well,
You got 5 stars.
It might only be 4. I think I had to put 1 down to say, okay, here's where the stars actually are compared to everybody else's words.
okay. I didn't think round 5 was right, but if it is round 5, then this is the turn in which they come in.
Okay, good. So I got 2-1.
Okay. So you get up to above the platform. Clax is going to make his check. Okay. He's not going to have to make checks. Oh, he is. He failed it. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, well. So, the airspeeders come in, and they're like, shoot, pew, 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 pew. And he's like, fuck that platform. And he grabs one of them and slams him into the other one. And they start falling down towards the planet in a fireball. And he's like, I'll get it in a minute, Captain.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Randall. You're enjoying your time in the closet. It might be time to come out of the closet, though.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of another way that I can get rid of this stupid fucker here.
I mean, you could just bash him in the back of the head with your fusion cutter.
Yeah, it seems simple enough.
You could also shoot him as you are inside of a closet.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and break out my as much as I didn't want to use my pistol, my blaster pistol.
Okay. Maneuver to manage gear. So you pull your pistol out. I'm going to give you 2 boosts because he doesn't know you're there. And it's a 1 purple light ranged attack.
Alright, yeah, that is my light ranged attack. Let's watch me fail this.
Damn close.
Shit. That's a lot. Those boost dice aren't doing shit for me.
So,
They,
how
they
much?
don't normally, but they're useful because when they do, it's real nice.
So you need 7 damage.
Damn it, it's only 6.
You have one success. That's 7.
Yep, that's right, because you get 1 success. That's you do exactly enough damage. So you just stick this pistol up to the back of his head, and the way I imagine is you're not used to killing people, so your hands all shaking, and you like squint and close one eye and like look away as you pull the trigger, and all you hear is, "Wee!" And then you look back over, and there's bits of pig all over the console.
The smell of burning bacon in the
Yep.
morning.
Okay. Oh, I actually have a. Hold on a second.
Dying piggy sound bank.
I don't, but God, I wish I did. Just this. Yep. All right. Graven. Alone in a field of corpses, next to the ship that the Moncal is supposed to be working on right now. Like it should be half integrated into the platform by this point. The droids are welding it to the deck. That part is happening.
One more time.
The droids are welding this thing to the deck. This
Uh-huh.
this ship, but it's supposed to be half integrated yet, and the Moncal is nowhere to be seen, and you're standing amongst all these corpses. What would you like to do?
Start pushing corpses off the edge.
Okay, you dispose
Um,
of said corpses.
Oh, wait. They're not dead. None of them are dead.
None of them are dead. I mean, they will be if you push them off the platform.
Do they have parachutes?
No, they do not.
They're on a fucking station this high up, and none of them have parachutes.
Or guardrails. They have no parachutes, no guardrails. It's Cloud City. Have you seen Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah, I was just, why would they not have fucking parachutes?
Because there's always an antenna to grab a hold of on your way down.
You're unconscious.
It's a true story.
I don't want them on the station with us. I just didn't really want to kill them.
Well, plus, once you go to orbit, they're
Would
gonna.
you say this would get in the way of what I'm trying to do?
I leave that up to your discretion as a player, as Pain is technically sentient and may rationalize the same way any sentient could.
There's got to be a better way. Are there escape pods?
Yes, there are escape pods.
All right, well, I'm gonna cram them all into an escape pod and then, launch it.
Okay? You hit the button, they float away on a hot air balloon style escape pod. It literally is like a life raft. You shove them all in, you pull the handle, a little balloon pops up and inflates, and they float off. Little beep beep thing.
And I'm gonna watch Flack shoot the balloon down.
Okay. Kizik. These two guards are confused by your presence, but not threatened by you. They do, however, turn as they hear a gunshot from inside and are immediately alerted, and one of them hits the panel and starts to go in. And that's as far as they're going to get, because they don't actually have a turn here. So that's as far as they're going to get. But you are now behind them, and they are very concerned about the gunshot they just heard.
Yeah, can I close that distance?
Yes, one maneuver.
I want to. Oh man, these guys are like size 0. Can I use one to hit the other?
Yes, they come up to your waist. If you want to try to use one as a improvised weapon, you can.
Can you light them on fire too?
If he rolls enough advantage.
Is improvised weaponing still brawling?
Yes, so in this case, I'm going to rule it as a brawl check. Because it's basically a grapple. I'm going to call it 2 purples because they're minions.
How much strain did I get for getting unconscioused?
You are at your threshold.
He would have gotten 5 for a stim pack, right?
if you stim packed him, but you didn't say that. You just said you woke him up. But yeah, you can have 5 for a stim pack. But I think he was more than -5.
No, I was 2 over.
Okay, well then yeah, you get 5, so you have 3 to spend.
Excellent. Can't aim. Can't get advantage. How much damage? So that's 3 plus 2
I'll give you
plus whatever.
I'll give you a +1 for one hitting the other as an improvised weapon. So how much is that total?
That'd be 6 total.
6.
Hold on,
total.
wouldn't you add their strength bonus?
Still probably 1.
I'm sorry, I had to.
So the one in your hand, his head cracks in such a way that like you see his neck flip back and his head is now looking behind him and he dies in your hands. The other one is just knocked out of the way by all this.
It's aiming for him, but I hit the frame right above him.
Okay, as that happens, off in the distance on the sensors, a ship has reported an emergency, and all the things are scrambling towards it. As they begin that, and on the sensors above the proto shadow, a fighter appears, and the combat air patrol that had been redirected towards the proto shadow from the distress call just winks out of existence on the sensors. And suddenly, all of the airwaves are very, very active, as lots of emergencies are happening at the same time. Officially, the proto shadow's up here now. Okay, so Ghost.
Does he have the tractor beam active?
Yes, he passed his tractor beam check with a. Oh no, he used his. He failed but had a triumph, so he needs to roll again. It's active, but he's not locked onto the station yet. We're not locked onto the platform yet. Still there? You mute yourself?
No, I thought Clax was going to make his roll.
Oh, he will if you tell him to.
Yeah, Clax, roll it.
Okay, so you're going to switch places with him. And he still can't get a lock on this thing. Holy shit.
What is up with our rolls?
Well, I always roll like shit. That's why you guys have such good times against all these strong enemies. 5 advantages. He's like, I can start picking our crew members up with the other tractor beam if you want.
Only if they're ready. Yeah. Don't harpoon people until they're ready.
Well, I mean, if we start lifting into space, and they're on that platform without any type of environmental gear, they're gonna die.
I mean, I get that.
So whether they're ready or not, since the next check is take it to space.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to be in orbit for a little bit while. We're still in Atmo.
You are still currently this round in Atmo, but the next check that you will make after he tractor beams it is take it to space.
Okay, I got you.
I'm still waiting to see what Ghost wants to do this turn.
He didn't make the check, so I guess I'm just sitting here.
Okay.
I can't do anything, right?
I mean, I think you probably could. I mean, you can't do that piloting check, but you probably could do something.
Yeah, I can make my astragations math work for a short jump.
That is a great idea. Um,
Okay.
so it's gonna be because you got this big station attached to you. It's gonna be a 3 red check, but I'll let you take the astromech ability. Like you two can work together as a combined check to make
Okay.
your 3 red check. So it's got two
Yellow and
ranks.
two green.
It's got 2 ranks and no, it's got 3 ranks. It's got 3 ranks and 2 intellect. You have 3 intellect, so you could make it if you two work together in a combined check. You can make it a 3 yellow check for you guys to do it together.
What's the
Against
difficulty?
it's 3 reds, so it's going to be 50-50. All right. You succeed. Randall, you're inside this terminal. The data pad is still trying to talk to the headless piggy. You have decided that maybe bacon isn't all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, is there like just a master breaker in here to turn the entire thing off?
I mean, he's rewired everything into his data pad. You could just rip that out.
Yeah, I'm ripping that out.
Okay. Communications are now disabled.
All right, and now that communications are disabled, I'm gonna run and take 2 strain to see how far I can get as far as trying to help weld up everything down.
I'll let you get halfway there. Roll me a mechanics check. Make it 1 red, 1 purple.
So I'd like to see which one's mine for the strain count.
Yours is the one in the middle.
All right, 1 red, 1 purple mechanics.
Okay.
Hey, I finally succeeded at something.
As soon as you start getting close to the fighter, you realize that whole ejection thing meant that the cockpit is now not usable as a place to be safe from being out of the atmosphere. Because the cockpit shield's blue, explosive bolt style. So there's no canopy anymore.
So, can I tell Dr. Payne that he has to fly it?
You can.
Yes.
Would you like to RP that?
Hey, Dr. Payne, when Master Waz landed, he hit the ejector seat, and now no sentient can actually be in the
Organic.
yeah, no organic can be in the plane, so you have to fly it out.
I was gonna say if there's no sentience, then I can't go either. But okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be the one that pushes the button when we fly this piece out of here.
Insist.
Okay. Craven.
Yep.
You've received bad news. What are you gonna do?
I don't know about bad news. News. I get in the cockpit.
Okay. The droids are still welding shit together. Pretty much everything except for the actual wire connections have been made. And really, there's not much to do there if that's what you want to do.
Flight prep.
So what?
Flight prep.
I mean, yeah, it's already on, and it's very uncomfortable because there's no seat. But you're a droid, so you don't care. You can attempt to strap yourself in. I'll call it either a mechanics or survival check. This will be 1 purple. Sure, if you want to rely on those for the G-forces of hyperspace.
Myself in. Bonus.
1 purple survival and
Valid.
mechanics.
Valid point. My mechanics check, I think, is. I did it
Awesome.
real good.
Awesome. You actually get tired of waiting for Randall and instruct the droids to start connecting the actual hardwire connections. And by the time Randall is going to get to you, the ship's actually going to be ready to go. Kizik,
Doctor, mechanic, and a pilot.
there's
Ah, shit, his head's getting so big.
you're you're facing off against this Ugnaught who only comes up to your waist as a Mon Cal runs between you in a mad dash towards the fighter. And you're both kind of just stop for a second as he goes by, and then the Ugnaught picks up his fusion torch, and he's comes in at you,
Yeah.
and he
I'm gonna-
whiffs it completely.
Yeah, I'm going to keep to continue bashing him with his dead comrade.
Okay. So you just took a full swing, and now you're just going to take the back swing. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I hit the first one and it kind of squibbled out of the way. So now I just got him lined up. I'm going to go both hands over the head and just smash straight down.
Okay, 2 purples.
Can I holler back as Randall passes by the body of the guy that killed his partner, and tell him to grab that guy? He's not dead.
Oh, I thought you put him in the thing with everyone else.
Oh, I didn't know if he was too far away for me to do that.
I was just going to let you do it.
Oh yeah, I did it. Then.
People are still going to die because there's lots of people on the platform that have no idea what's about to happen. But you did save anyone you could. So,
'Cause I've saved everyone that I can see.
yeah. As soon as the ship starts going into orbit, if they don't jump into an escape pod themselves, it's on them.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
That's
they killed themselves.
how much
4
damage?
success. So that was 7 damage plus the 1 damage that the Ugnaught does for 8 total damage.
Yeah, that's more than enough. How does it go down?
I just you ever watch a movie where they just lose control and it's just like the first one like actually does it, but then there are 15 extra ones. That happens and 2 Ugnaughts merge into one bloody pulp of an Ugnaught mess.
So you made Ugchucks.
Did.
Awesome.
Then I'm going to look up at the sky and just wave and like ask for a harpoon, please.
Okay.
He's gonna hit everything but you now. That's how that works. You only
He
When you
has
ask
he
for it,
hasn't
it's-
managed to tractor beam the station yet, just to be clear. 2 cloud cars zip by the outside of the platform at like super high speed, and for a second you guys are like, oh shit, there's enemy fighters. And then this other fighter comes up behind them, and there's like the sound of blaster fire and explosions, and then this thing just comes back, and those things are gone.
was that the Kraken.
Yeah, that's
You don't see those often. They're pretty rare.
yeah.
I guess there's no pirate ships or forts up right now.
Nope. The Dirty Deeds is also climbing back to orbit after recovering miraculously from its emergency. The few ships behind it that are asking it to stop suddenly wink out of existence as it gets to the edge of the atmosphere. And then you see its transponder signal blink out as it jumps to hyperspace.
All right, I'd like to radio the captain to be like, Captain, we are ready to go here. It's time to GTFO.
Yeah, we're having problems with the tractor beam. We're getting it under control.
Okay, well, all the distractions have left, so
Still on the surface?
um,
Or did we actually move up with the Triumph?
you should get off the surface. We're going to enter airspace, and you guys cannot breathe in it. That's what you told me. That's why I have to be here.
Yes. Yes, that's
Yeah,
why
so-
you have to be there. I guess I was not sure about the whole turn order and if
Well, it's currently Ghost's turn.
Yeah.
But he has limited options on what he could do. He could have Clax roll again and then try to roll the piloting check, but the piloting check will take it to space. He could also run down to the cargo tractor beam and start trying to pull you guys up with the cargo tractor beam. Which is
I think that's probably the best way to do it.
okay.
Or have Mr. Clean do the cargo tractor beam.
Mr. Clean is an option. His gunnery check is virtually non-existent, but he can do it.
I'll do it.
Okay. Okay, so targeting a sentient with this particular tractor beam at that range, I'm gonna call it one red, one purple. Gunnery check.
Can everybody just group together so you get them all in one?
So it's not really designed to grab onto multiple things at once, and while I will let you do it, it will actually increase, not decrease, the difficulty. And
What if they hug though?
if you despair, you're dropping someone.
If they're both hugging, drop both of them.
So I'm gonna try to get Randall first, right?
Okay. See who's favorites. Okay. You pull up Randall. Let's roll for Clax. One more time with feeling. He did it! The big tractor beam locks onto the apparatus. Okay. Randall, you're getting sucked up to the top. Craven, you're sitting in a cockpit. Kizik, you are sitting in a bloody mess of Ugnaughts.
Can I try to hit Randall with my thing?
Yes. Yes, you may. I believe it's a light ranged attack.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
It's 2 purples unless Randall wants to try to dodge it.
Do I have any knowledge of what this is? And
Nope. Waz sticks his arm up and then something flies out at you.
I'm too stunned to make any changes whatsoever.
It's okay because it misses you. A thing flips by and then wheels back. It whips back towards Waz, and you have no idea what that was. Ghost, it's your turn again. You've got Randall safely up in the cargo bay. Would you like to repeat that same tractor beam check to try to bring Waz on board?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm hoping for despair here.
Nope.
Damn it.
Pulled up on board with plenty of advantages.
Does that bring all the rest of the droids that were down welding this?
Nope, they're still on the platform, but I didn't think the plan was for them to come on board during
Yeah,
this.
they don't need to come. They're not sentient.
Oh, man.
Wow.
You're all pissing off the pain bot. Every one of you. All right, that's good. So we're going to need a piloting check. Ghost,
You put vinegar in gill water. I just hope you know that.
one of you could probably co-pilot to help.
That'd be nice.
That's 2 purple.
Yep, it's a 2 purple piloting check.
He is not passing that.
Boom!
All right, you downgrade it from 2 reds and a purple to 1 red and 2 purples.
Flipping it.
You could have flipped the Destiny token. That would have been a good time for it too.
Yeah, I'm like, now seems like as good a time as any.
So with
I'll
that, how do you want to spin that triumph?
We get out of the atmosphere
No,
successfully.
that is not what happens because you failed that check.
Oh man, you slingshot the thing out, and we're still in atmosphere.
You slingshot the thing out.
Slingshot the whole platform.
That would actually still accomplish what he was trying to accomplish, though. That's the opposite of what Chris said.
It's a piloting, so he just flips the ship over. The platform is now upside down in outer space, but we're still inside of not outer space.
I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
That's a despair, not a triumph.
Yeah.
Because then he has to fly. He has to do the check again. Fly up there, retractor beam it, orient it correctly, pull it out past the defender. That's a despair. That's 2 despairs.
Can I flip a destiny token and get this success instead of a triumph?
At 11:56, yes, you can.
All right.
All right, you guys get it into orbit. There is a fighter running escort for you, and you are ready to make your hyperspace jump. You've already done your calculations, so there's only a couple things left to do. You guys are going to separate, and I want to know what order of events is all going to happen. You guys know basically what has to happen here, but I want to know who does what at what point.
So we're doing a series of small jumps. And I guess we'll have to do the astrogation check and then send it to Payne
You've already
so
done.
that
You've already.
Payne can
You've
do the
already done
same
the
one, right?
astrogation check, so you
Well,
send
this
that
is
over.
the first jump, but like we're doing a series of small jumps, right?
Well,
So
let's concentrate on leaving Bespin first. You haven't accomplished that first part yet. So what I meant when I said I want a series of events, I want what happens between you guys breaking atmosphere and you jumping to hyperspace on the first jump. Anything after that is going to be next session.
Captain, are you ready for me to push the button yet?
You don't have coordinates yet.
Captain, can you give me the coordinates so that I can push the button?
yeah, I will send you these coordinates right now.
It's cold out here.
Proto Shadow needs a jump first.
Does it? Also, tractor beam needs to be disengaged. Like, this is what I'm asking. All of these things have to happen.
So Clax is going to let go
Okay.
as we send the coordinates over,
Mm-hmm.
and then Proto Shadow is going to jump, and then the platform is going to jump, right? Everybody cool with
If
that?
that's the order you want to do it in.
Yeah. That way we arrive first, and we can catch them with the platform if they go crazy, or catch them with the tractor beam.
You could leave 3 days later and get there before this thing's going to get there. This thing is going to so much slower than you.
Is everybody cool with that plan?
Yeah, that plan still seems cool. And again, we'll just have the math of where we chill for a while. And wait for this thing to show up.
Okay. Okay, so here's what happens. The Proto Shadow jumps into hyperspace. Payne hits the button. Nothing happens. Commonly in the Star Wars universe, when you have a sketchy ship like this, you always make it go first. That way, if the hyperdrive fails, you know it failed instead of being well on your way to the rendezvous point thinking it jumped to hyperspace. Since you did that backwards, the Proto Shadow's in hyperspace. Payne, you're by yourself on this platform. What are you going to do?
I'm going to punch it.
You're going to punch it?
Yeah, mechanics check.
Okay. It's 2 reds. I would flip a destiny token if I were you.
Oh, I'm gonna flip at least one. How many do we have?
You have 2 left.
I'm gonna flip both of them.
Okay, you should do that.
So that drops it down to 2 purple or 1
Yep.
red.
2 purple.
Is there an astrogation droid down here?
There are astromech droids. Your astrogation check is not what the problem is. It's a mechanics check to repair.
Stu, can I get a boost from them?
Oh, you can absolutely get a boost. I'll give you 2 boosts for them. You got an army of droids.
Yeah.
Okay. If you'd failed that, I would have made you do a leadership check to command the droids to fix it. Okay. So you managed to fix what was wrong with it. And with your 2 advantages, you're even able to do it before you get shot at. You do notice that the Kraken's fighter is still hovering around, like it didn't leave you. It stuck around, which is another safety net I was going to give you.
I'd like to wave at that guy and be like, "Thank you for not leaving me like my friends did."
Okay, you jump into hyperspace, and that's what we're going to call it for tonight, right on the money for midnight. The next session will open with you guys arriving at your destination. I'm very happy with the fact that not only did you guys get able to get through that the way you did, but that everything went pretty much exactly according to plan.
Yeah, we've gotten surprisingly good at coming up with plans that don't fail us anymore.
You got a giant bomb on a string.
This is where I want to be like, oh, I put in different coordinates.
Well, I'm also surprised because I thought there would at least be a discussion amongst you guys of being like, so like once we have it, we have it. Like we could just sell it or take it. Like there's so many opportunities for you guys to be like, we're just gonna screw these guys over and take it. And you guys not once have even talked about the possibility.
It's honorable.
It is you're thieves. You're thieves and
There's
smugglers.
honor. There's honor among thieves.
Is
I
there?
I'm more in the true neutral-ish category.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's some poor security guard over here who's contemplating suicide because he killed his partner of 15 years and then wakes up in like an escape pod because apparently the guy that he thought he was trying to kill him wasn't even trying to kill him.
Yep. He's gonna team up with that other guy.
It's gonna be great.
You're gonna have a club hunting.
It's gonna be great. It's better than the mall days.
If only we had enough containers on board to store all the gas that's chilling out here.
I mean, you have a container platform. So
Yeah. We have a container platform that's space worthy apparently.
I mean, sort of. It has to be tractor beam on course. Also, so there was a little bit of misinterpretation, but I let it slide. You guys have to make it in one jump. You don't get to make multiple small jumps. The multiple small jumps was if you were hauling it with the Proto Shadow. You get to hit the go button on this fighter exactly one time. Then it can jump no more. That was part of the deal of turning the fighter's engines into this thing. It can jump one time. So you had to jump directly to your rendezvous point in one jump. And it's going to take like 3 days for this thing to get there. But you're a droid, so it's not that big a deal.
No, I'm gonna go for my new protocols and that battle computer thing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so you're going to find out that Tavi is like semi-sentient, and you can actually have conversations with it. But it is a computer very much. It also can do things. So mechanically, you can now flip destiny tokens to get. No one can figure out how to solve this problem. How do we solve this problem? It's kind of what I'm giving you with that. It also will highlight things like bounties and bounty related things, and it will handle the transactions for like if someone needs to be offed and you off them, it will automatically take care of the evidence and turn in. With that said, you're getting like 200 credits a pop, and these bounties are actually worth more than that, not a ton more. So your employer, in quotation marks, is skimming a lot off the top.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as he's not trying to kill me again, that's great.
Yeah, they're not trying to kill you. They aren't. But
You should walk around the spaced hull looking for bounties.
Just go to the local bars.
Well, there was 30 people on there. We killed 8.
yeah,
So there's still...
there were a bunch of escape pods that Jennison office was getting hauled into hyperspace. There's nobody else on there.
Oh, that's less exciting.
Yeah, sorry.
Did anybody set off my
Nobody came
Did
close.
anybody-
Nobody came close enough for you to visually scan them like that. None of the people you fought hand to hand set it off. I will. So when this happens, I will in the description of the enemies actually add a little thing where if you hover your mouse over them, it will tell you, and that's how the scanner will work mechanically. Alrighty. It's been real, gentlemen. I hope everyone's enjoyed themselves. We're going to call it there for the evening.